Finally, we are live on this. But let's do the announcement first so people actually know to get in there.
Oh, yeah.
That might be a good idea, you know.
Usually you do that, the fucking shilling of this podcast.
Fine. I will put it in the...
I mean, goddamn. I should do some stuff.
Here, I'll just post it for you guys.
Oh yeah, do ping the podcast role in announcements. Place the link in hisouten Zuko and the beginner channel.
I mean, I'm sure I can do it fine. Just like join my fucking podcast and stuff.
Oh wow, starting off with J2A.
Sure, why not?
I mean, I'm so tempted. Don't you see all the damage I'm dealing? Oh wow. That you can cancel 4-5 into 6A is pretty not cool in this game. Mashing? Doesn't work this time. Maybe the Normax special? Nope. That doesn't work either.
Whoa, my frame drop, what is this?
Wow, these are some exceptionally skilled Yuyukos.
Hey, come on. See my Yuyuko, then let's see what you say.
Why do you jump with me? That's stupid.
Alright, what did we name these two gorillas? I can see that Genki's running fucking 5-card and Northman's running one of the worst reversals in the game.
You call it worse? Look at this.
See, it worked!
You call it bad? You just all suck.
Nice, he got 1.6k damage and he didn't tech because he didn't want to.
Oh wow. Oh, did you read my dial?
Summer Red, I don't actually know who you are.
Oh, it was there.
Also, Genki's playing on my palette.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, boy! I got it something!
Oh man, how did you do it on the first game?
It wasn't even a setup.
What's the base damage on that? Isn't it like 4k?
It's huge.
If you hit it raw, it's 5.3k.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. It's air unblockable, but it has 71 frames of startup, and it also has a fucking hitbox that extends about like halfway across the entire screen. But it's really easy because it doesn't have a hitbox behind Yuyuko, so you can just fly behind Yuyuko to get out of it. I mean, you got.
Actually, I should just spam more C bullets. Yeah, why am I not doing this?
Well, then
easy.
This is some real pressure. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you said it's not real pressure? Then stop getting hit. Wow. Stupid LA.
Wow, nice. Genki reset with a 4A instead of finishing the combo. We'll see if you'll finish this one. Nope.
I never finish my combos if I can. For the reset. Look at this. Look at this. Big damage.
Yeah, that's okay. I can do more than that.
Whoa! Just fucking F5A war. Somebody press J2C and win this neutral.
No. Oh, no.
And I'm running Irish Special, the ceiling lasers. Let me win the game with those. Oh no.
No, I wouldn't really recommend you start using ceiling lasers until you have 2 in your deck.
What did you say?
Wait, 2? Why?
Because the actual active frames and the amount of space it covers isn't very substantial at level 1, but at level 2 it's ridiculous. And the problem with level 1 is that you're not going to get that much more neutral, and probably D214 is going to get you a lot more mileage at that point, just at level 0. Why use Alt 236? I don't know. Why are you doing it, Morphman?
Because I am amazing. I mean, look at this. I have 100% hit rate with it so far. I'm just dispersing.
Look, you guys need to learn from advice, Al. Start mashing more 623.
623, understood. Although, hey, I have the alt skill in there.
623B.
What?
B!
How did I do so much damage?
That's her.
623 machine broke.
2 times.
Understandable.
How did that whiff? No.
Oh, you're in the corner. Come here. I need that.
No, you're not doing this bullshit.
What am I learning from these games?
You're learning that. Oh, what?
See, I even confirm with that and do a combo.
You know, actually against Yuyuko's 623, it's one of the best places where you can use 5 card to counter it, because as soon as you see Yuyuko doing 623 towards you, you do 421C, and then you do 5 card. The 5 card lets you have invulnerability frames and stop you from getting hit. The 421C picks them up, and then they get hit by the 5 card for about like 5k damage.
Interesting.
Wow. Oh no, not Sun Shower, Yeah, I've already escaped for once in my life correctly.
Yeah, Yuyuko is pretty powerful in Sun Shower because I don't think any of Yuyuko's... No, none of Yuyuko's moves are normal. They're all either high or low, so literally any normal in Sun Shower is a forced 50-50 for the opponent.
Well, I mean, I don't know. In Sun Shower, I feel I'm so accustomed to Yomo having automatic, high-low, that to me having just high that you can, sometimes change, feels a bit meh.
Yeah, you gotta be a thinking gorilla. You gotta make sure that sometimes you press a button that isn't 5A, but only sometimes.
Okay, only sometimes I have to think, oh what the hell, I hate this DP.
Nice charge 3A.
And he friggin...
Oh,
shit, stay away from you, scrub.
Also, you guys are playing Yuyuko like the worst way imaginable. Why don't you just jump? And like use her actually good aerial normals?
Okay, using aerial.
There we go.
Oh.
Just neutral jump J2A, my god.
Suck on my reverse screens.
Oh, that's good.
I'm actually gonna talk
right,
about
nothing with the DP, now that's good. Oh,
I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as people make it out to be.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you gotta be like Coco the Gorilla, like 60 IQ and you know 10 words.
Thanks, River Mist. Just thanks, River Mist.
Anti-air champ 3A. Be dead.
Oh, you fucking beaver.
We're reaching new frontiers each and every day. Also, Genki, you could have done 4 card after that dial A, and it would have added like 3k damage to your combo.
Oh, you love that? It's hot.
I'm trying to do a thing here.
Same with you, Markman. You could have done it after that 660. Sprinkle 60.
No, stop that game. Does it come? No, that's a little bit slower than I expected.
Wow!
Thanks.
Wow!
See, I read that shit.
Genki, you
The
never...
resurrection butterfly.
Oh, what the fuck?
I wanted
Just
a sweet.
reversed my DP.
I wanted a sweet spot.
Yeah, apparently this
Get away from me, scrub. No, you stop that bullshit. Wait, since when is it 6A minus on her? What?
6A is always minus.
660 is one of the most minus moves in the game if you hit it that deep in. It's only plus if you hit people with the very tip of it on like the last few active frames. It has like, I think, 10 to 12 active frames. So if you hit it around 10, 11, 12, with the very tip of it, it'll be plus, but if you hit it with like the first active frame, you're gonna have to suffer through all of its recovery.
I know the best combo ever, dial A, as usual. Why the hell was my J2A minus on hits? What is
Yo,
this?
you can low profile by using the sweep 3A.
I don't know why.
I actually saw Azel do some crazy 2A pokes out of pressure today. He did like 2A, 2B, 6C, 421C, and then as the 421C was hitting you, he would fly behind you and do J6A, so the J6A would throw you back into the corner.
Oh.
Wow! That was beautiful.
Oh,
Unga, give me banana.
That Unga 623.
I'm doing this again. Don't you try that? No, don't do that stupid gayness. Here we go.
If you do 421C and Sprinkle, it has a ridiculous amount of active frames.
Well.
What? Oh, right, this area unblockable. Why?
Wow, who even meshes it? Man.
I smashed my J2A, that shouldn't even work.
Sad. It's because you're doing instant air J2A. Like, I actually have a bunch of videos prepared for this podcast. I'll show you why a bunch of the shit that you guys are doing is actually really stupid.
It's not stupid, it works.
I don't play this character, so obviously it's bad.
The option select.
Vibrating.
If you lose, you're
no.
a god. If you win, you're a god. If you lose, I don't play this character anyway.
And yeah.
That does confirm.
You could have done more damage off of anything else.
But that wouldn't have used meter and looked cool. Come on. Yes.
I've never seen 660 used as a combo ender, mostly because people can tech out of it.
Well, I mean, if they can't
No,
take
they
out
can't
of it, you get a reset. So why do you use it? You do 60C, then 60A
Can't
are
on that. Also, let's make it the last because we're already 30 minutes past.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It's been a waste of time for everyone involved.
It's true.
I'm telling you, you should stop doing that one. Oh well.
Okay, then last
And,
one.
yeah, BBMK is right. They decided to put all the worst Yuyuko cards into one deck.
Wow, really?
They're all good cards, you just don't know how to use them.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Yeah, you stopped that gay shit. But you did some of that stuff.
Some of the cards are decent. I don't think reverse screens is bad, and I'll explain why in the podcast.
It dealt pretty good damage, and it was a frame 1 reversal, so...
All
does it have to be
236 is
6A?
terrible. I mean, it doesn't matter which one it is, it's terrible. And if it's good, I couldn't explain to you what redeemable quality it has about it. I'll let some other Yuyuko lab that out and tell me why it's supposed to be good.
I see.
Morphman has 421C ult in his deck, and that's actually a good card in my opinion. I don't run it and I won't be talking about it, but it's decent because of its anti-air properties. It has a shit ton of active frames, and it can basically control all the space above you and prevent your enemy from doing air approaches.
This is not an input I know. Ah, come on.
Blue Sky.
I have my reversal ready. Are you scared?
That's not a
Shut up.
reversal. If you do, yeah, like all you have to do is.
Oh wait, it does have info frames, I didn't even know that.
Also, Genki mashing 421C because he wants that 5 card.
I'm not going to be...
Goodbye! See you now! And that's how it's done!
I pressed dash downwards when it got me. God damn it.
Oh yeah, baby!
I will never know why
Time
he
for a
decided
salty
to walk
podcast
in the
now.
air.
So enjoyable!
Oh.
Oh, that's like the start. That's
Okay,
like the
finally
start.
we are over with the sad stuff. So, we are about to start, and let's start with a great opening video now.
Yes, I do have a
Serious.
gift for all of you. This is from one of our greatest guys ever, the Advice Hour.
Please watch warmly.
Only the stream wasn't so behind.
Oh.
Rip our fucking mains.
Oh, my motivation. Oh man, that was some good art.
It brings a tear to my eye.
From 1 to 10, how true is it?
Well, I think Advice Owl definitely picked the right cards. Yeah, those are the ones that you can go Unga, give me a banana with. And
So,
apparently that Mei-Ling matchup is pretty rough, apparently.
Mhm.
Alright, so where shall we start?
So let's see. Here we are on Hisouten Podcast, the 14th episode. Ooh, the podcast of the Butterfly Dream. Oh, that's a good name. Okay, so I guess we should start with a recap as usual.
Yeah, this time we have to burn quickly through it, so we won't commentate on much
Yeah,
there.
we have a bunch of things to recap, or even just head to the weeks that happened. So, first of all, the tourneys. There was Dream Chaser 13. It was literally like a bunch of days ago.
1 week.
Yeah, 1 week. It feels like yesterday for some reason. It went. I don't know. What do you say, Irish? You were there after all. I feel it was really good overall.
Why do you say that?
I mean, let me check out a moment because I actually forgot. It was the time.
Bug in one, and then
Yeah.
third place I think was Penji. Let me check.
I mean,
Yeah,
we had
Benji.
we had one Pengy and Haz and Splinter and Morphman. Like pretty much we had the usual top 8, but Haz out of nowhere just kind of trashed everyone.
My
was
god,
out of
Huzzbug decided to show
mean,
him Dream Chasers 13, the second
He
Dream Chaser in a
even
row.
trashed me.
Yeah,
Mm.
okay. What was it? I think it was it a Soku set or was it Soku Shenanigans that you had to fight Huzzbug? And then, yeah, he's a Patchouli main. So this is the second
Yeah,
Dream Chaser in a row that a Patchouli main is
I
one of the Dream
think it was
Chasers.
your turn.
Soku Shenanigans, Huzzbug won against Genki, but then
And-
again, even I
Wait.
beat Genki that day.
Look, so Genki, when will we see you in Dream Chasers?
Okay, first, I also lost to him in a casual set. So, okay,
Nice.
let's make
How's
this.
how's that justifying anything?
It shows that he is really, really strong, and I need to fucking play the game more, maybe.
Keep going.
Okay, so you said that I should ban him, and after playing him with Suika, I have actually banned him. Okay, so
Well,
we are
let's
not.
go.
Yeah, we are not going to see Haas again. It's kind
Not
of.
even in the team tourney?
Oh no, the team tourney is fine. Team tourney is fine. It can.
Wait, so you
can-
are banning Huzz?
Yeah, in the end,
Oh, man.
I get destroyed. If that's not a good reason.
All right, and then we had Sunday Swiss number 6,
Mm.
and Nanyaka won that one, and I guess that was a prelude to him winning Soku Saturday 101.
Oh man, the horror.
An impressive performance too by Rimox. He's been doing really well. He got second place in that one.
Oh yeah, there we go. It's there. Look at that. 5-1. He only lost once. Yeah.
Yeah, and he only lost to Nanyako.
Wow, really now? Damn,
He's
that's really good.
pretty good player.
Wow.
We can't stop Rimox, he's getting too strong.
We should really
Even
watch
his
out
Alice
for.
is strong, despite him saying everything else.
We really should watch out for some new players because I feel like these days we are kind of distracted and we are really watching some players that are in DC or BB and stuff.
I've been watching Rimox. If you ever have a conversation with the guy or you watch him talk, you notice that he's always constantly talking about how, oh, I saw this or that in a replay, or I did this and found this happen in the lab. And those are the characteristics of a really quickly improving player.
Cool. That's really nice to hear. Neat.
All right, and then we had Beginner Beatdown 2.
Oh, but well, that's mostly on you. I was there too, but
I mean, yeah, I guess it was my turn. And Beginner Beatdown 2, it went pretty well. I really liked the level of gameplay that I saw out of everyone. I felt like the participants had improved quite a decent bit. I actually ended up banning both of the top 2 players, both Unreal and Wolf, because none of them lost to anybody in the bracket except for each other, and that's really indicative of how powerful they are. So I'd like to see them more in Dream Chasers. I think they would be doing well in there.
Well, for sure, Wolf is going to should be fine. I think in the last Dream Chaser he did fairly okay. I think he lost. He didn't went 2-0, but he went like 2-1, something like that. I actually don't remember.
He actually didn't do too badly. Wolf, he beat Midnight Blade and somebody else in one of the Dream Chasers. Let me actually check, because like he did an actually impressive job.
But Unreal is instead some new old guy.
He's an IRC old friend, isn't he?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, he beat Midnight Blade, he beat 34, and then he almost beat Noramac.
So is this another case of an old guy coming back and immediately wiping the tournament?
Well, okay.
I think Wolf actually did a pretty good job against him whenever he switched to Marissa. But besides that, yeah, it was a pretty clean sweep.
Well, I mean, the final game against Wolf, yeah, I guess it can be considered clean. It was interesting seeing Wolf try to change the character. Like, the first time he went Sakuya, but that didn't work, so he tried Marisa. And he was doing pretty well, actually.
Alright, and then we got Sokusat 100, or as I like to call it, Sokusat, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
They didn't say the same. You started at a different time.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of things changed, but the result was still the same.
I feel like I could talk about... I could talk about that in first person, but
let's just say congratulations to Nanyako for winning.
Yeah, it was. There were a bunch of people, considering that the other Soku Saturday before the 100 were kind of dead. Sometimes you had like 15 people participating top.
Well,
so
this
congrats.
tournament, it was kind of strange. Like, we announced it the day of, and then, like, 30 minutes beforehand, we did check-in announcements. And then it was 30 minutes later, and people are like, well, we didn't know what was going on. So there ended up being a lot of people who couldn't sign up at the last minute. That's probably why the bracket wasn't as big.
That being said, it was still a 26-person bracket.
Yeah.
So if those are our small brackets, I mean, I remember we used to have, like, 12-person Soku Saturdays.
Yeah.
And,
wow, really?
Yeah. I think I won one of those once.
I mean, I would play in the Soku set myself, but I mean, this time around, Tessiro, he was busy. It was streamed by me. I sent the VOD in, so you can go find it on his YouTube later.
Let's see. If you go back in time, definitely Soku set numbers now, even the lowest number, is still pretty big compared to the past. It's just that these days we are so accustomed to at least 30 people playing every single tournament that saying just 20 is kind of strange, let's say.
It's 26.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was nice.
It was better than the one I remember, Soku set 11, which had 99, which had 11 participants.
Yeah.
That was kind of sad.
So at least it got a boost. Maybe it's because of the time, maybe it's because people got more, what should I say, interested in it, more motivated, I don't know. Maybe it's also because we get a lot more players now.
Before closing the part of about the tourneys, we had Splinter reach 3rd place. I mean, that's pretty good, no?
What did he mean by this?
And look at the bracket.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What did he mean? What?
What if Soku set is just a higher level DC?
Oh, come on, you guys! Why do you?
Alright, who are we banning from Sokusat?
Why do you guys have to disrespect so many people? They tried their best. I
think we gotta ban Genki. He's a little too strong lately.
Yeah. I mean, 2nd place every single time. He's blowing the rest of the competition out of the water.
What if he wins, man? People are gonna yell at us.
We can't have that.
Do I have to go home already? We have just started.
Okay, outside of Sokuset, I do want to make mention of this tourney. I know it's not listed, but we did have Soku Shenanigans. This was a tournament I made last minute because there wasn't a Soku set available, and this is around the time where I don't know, Tessiro wasn't here. He tried to run the Magician's Duel on the same day, and because there wasn't any Soku set, because nothing was going on, there was no podcast the previous day, just nothing was going on. That's why we had Soku shenanigans, and this tournament ended up having like a 30-plus person bracket, and it was announced within like... It was announced at random, and then within 1 hour, it was able to get quite the bracket size. So that makes me wonder, like, do people even care about tournaments being announced in advance, or do they just, like, are they like, oh, it's gonna happen, like, here and now, so I may as well participate? You think it's like that?
They're well trained. They know the tournament is coming. If you make it, they will come.
Ideally.
By the way, Zero, did you ever realize that Soku Shenanigans has the exact same abbreviation as Sunday Swiss?
Wait.
They're both SS.
Yeah,
I mean, even Soku
Soku set is the same.
Man,
Maybe
we
because
really...
they all start with Soku, maybe something like that. Oh well.
I mean, did you also know that in the beginning of my Twitch name, it's SS0fuse? Really makes you think.
We really need to do something about this.
Okay, what's going on? We're moving on from the tourneys now. So what else is new? We have the loot shell. I don't know
I wanted to say it.
Yeah, speaking of SS.
Yeah, we have loot back
Yo.
once more.
So,
Speaking.
Is that
of SS?
Wait, what? Come on.
Nothing.
Never mind. Don't worry.
Come
The
on.
loot channel's back. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted it, it's there. What else to say, really?
And it's strangely really alive. Like,
But
wow.
it is going to be a bit more moderated. Like, even though you do want it, and some people
Let me guess,
were
it's
complaining
more
about
alive than the actual Soku channel.
No, I can't say it's that, but like we do have limitations on postings and keeping it on topic here now. So we got a couple new moderators for that, and one of them is Zophie, the other one is Zim. So you know, go greet them or something.
And if you aren't there, you're missing out on Tiena doing really some interesting storyline in there with custom made 3D. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting, let me tell you.
I mean, I'll just call it ERP. Come on, man.
Also, stop jerking off.
But more important
onto something a bit more serious. We have a new version or update of Soku 2. And that's quite interesting actually, because finally they release Captain Muraza, which is quite the character if you ask me.
That's not even the important character that was added.
What? Come on!
Nobody cares about Muraza.
What the fuck? Come on!
We're all here for that hot Nima, dude.
I hate to break it to you again, Key, but nobody cares about Marasa.
Come on!
Now, how about this
waiting on
other
that.
interesting character? And her name is Mima, and she's back.
It took her so many years.
I knew I felt something in my bones.
Mima is using, I think, Utsuo as replacer.
And
Shouldn't she replace Marissa instead?
No, I'm pretty sure
That would
she's
make more
replacing
sense.
Utsuo.
No, I think that's Yuka.
Oh yeah, yes, Yuka. Mima is Iku.
She replaces Iku.
Yeah, Iku.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really try much. Mima.
You did play today. So what can you say? Like, does it look good from a gameplay perspective? Like, do you think when Soku 2 has every character replaced that everyone is going to start using it in the near future?
So I was trying a bit of everything, just throwing stuff around, and the new characters are surely unique. There's that, like, there is limitation. It's Soku. There are some limitation when you are replacing characters. That's the sad reality of it. But yeah, I think with some tweak here and there, every character can be pretty interesting. And I also asked Fear if he wanted to make tourneys once he has enough characters. So yeah, I think that it should be pretty good. Yeah, once we have enough characters, the game should be actually maybe even competitive. Every character is looks pretty good, you know. Again, I only tried Muraza for the most part, and even Muraza was really unique. Like grabs in Soku, what's up with that? That's
grabs? No,
yeah.
way.
She actually has grabs, one spell card and one actual grab, and they work like
are
normal.
They grabs or are they Soku grabs?
No, they are grabs. Like
Oh
the
my
spell
God.
card. Yeah, the spell card is actually really hard to avoid. It's a 50-50 basically. and the normal grab 2. Both of them are basically normal grabs. It's pretty good. You should try it, guys. It's a good mod.
I'm all in. Finally, I can do some pressure. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So what else is new? We have
you didn't say the version name. I think it's version 1.81.
Oh yeah, it is. I can check now if you want. It's
it's 1.81, but
it's made by Fear Nage, and I do want to make a quick shout out to Fear Nage. He does a lot of work on this mod, and you can actually find more Soku 2 gameplay in his Soku 2 server. You just have to ask him. And
also, shoutouts to Freudia. She does a lot of playtesting.
Yeah, Freudia does a whole lot of. She helps a lot with Soku 2, so thank you for that. We also have a Soku 2 channel, in case you wanted to try playing this, and everybody else in the channel could probably help you set it up too.
You should give it a try. It's a good mod. It's really fun. But it's not the only fighting game that recently has released something. We have a new Can someone pronounce it for me?
Antinomy of Common Flowers.
Thanks. Okay, so we have a new demo of that. And I tried that. Irish tried that, so because I know Irish did a lot more work on that demo than me, so go ahead, say something about it.
Well, first of all, this isn't even in the demo, but everybody knows this by now and they're super hype about it. Doremi Suite got announced, and yeah, there are lots of people who are like, oh, where are my embodiment of Scarlet Devil characters? Why are they adding?
Oh, come on!
Well, you know what? Doremi is amazing, and most of the new Who's are amazing, so honestly, just suck it up.
I mean, there is Ichi, so whatever.
Yeah, there's Ichirin, and there's a lot of really good characters. You know, some of them, like, I have an avatar of. But Antinomy of Common Flowers, the new demo, is definitely a whole lot better than the old demo. They added a lot of mechanics that make the gameplay a lot more interesting. They made it so that you can do a lot more with the master and slave mechanic. You can swap into a whole lot of different things, and it adds a whole lot of combo ability. They added a perfect blocking system, and they balanced it out too. They made it so that you can't do perfect blocking in the air, and you also can't tech out of grabs if you're perfect blocking. Grabbing is like, you have 13 frames of untech time, which is kind of long for a fighting game, but you still have to read it in order to untech. And just in general, I think they nerfed defense a lot. They made it a lot harder to push block, because now push block is combined with perfect blocking, and that drains your spirit whenever you do it. And then there's also, what was the other thing that they added? They took away border escaping, so now you actually have less options on defense, and it's balancing out the gameplay versus offense and defense a lot.
Actually, no border escape sounds pretty great to me, if you ask me.
It makes it a bit more predictable what your opponent is going to do, because the problem with border escaping was that you could border escape upwards or downwards. At least here, if you're in a hit stun, you can't really do anything to get out of it, or block stun rather. You have to do stuff like push blocking.
Well, it sounds interesting. That means you basically have always a coin available in a way.
Yeah, it's basically a coin.
Overall, what do you think about the state of the game now?
I'm still waiting for the actual release until I touch it.
I really like it so far. I am pretty hyped for the release. Genki?
What? I just was talking with the chat. I was shitposting the chat. People are shitposting my amazing mix-up. It was baby mistake mix-up. Sorry it wasn't better. My mix-up of godlike though. See me in any fighting game.
And yeah, Antinomy of Common Flowers is the gachamuchi of Toho fighting games, because you've got masters and slaves.
Oh yeah, you can grab people. What? Why?
Oh,
Okay, look, actually I was surprised, because when I heard people say slave and master, I was like, what is this fun name of tag mechanics? When I actually played the game, it was like, quite literally, slave and master. I was like, what is this? Exactly.
Always use Raisin as a slave, she's good for nothing.
I was actually surprised, it was so strange, like, they actually used the name slave and master, what?
They are the memes. Tessifer knows about Gachimuchi, that's my explanation for it.
Outside of that, I didn't see anything particularly interesting. I was practicing combos. You know, I was only practicing combos, and they look the usual little combos. Sadly, I only saw that side of the game, but I noticed that they changed some moves on some characters, and there is this new mechanic that it's like cancel backdash something. It's I don't know. The game seems to be shaping up to be quite interesting. I just need to have a full release, you know.
Yeah.
Well, let's wait for it.
Yeah, basically.
So can anyone explain Ed's Okizeme mod? I actually am not too sure what that is.
Me
I heard
neither.
about it today as well, so do you have any ideas, Refuse?
So this is a program that's going to help you set up in practice mode any Okizeme that you want to practice. I think it works in practice mode, but you probably have to ask Eduardo or read his post, his pin in the Soku Mods channel. But this is really cool so that anybody who really struggles in like studying their offense, studying wake up, this is one of those tools that's going to help you out. So shout out to Eduardo, you know, really cool stuff. Getting in that Soku tech.
Yeah, I always used Soku Macro before to practice Okizeme, but I figure this works more easily.
Soku macro, what's that like?
You actually you set up a chain of inputs for a player to do. You can only do it in versus mode, and you just use that to do Okizeme. Like you might want to configure a AI to tech out and then block, or tech out and high jump, and then you just test things like that. But you have to, it's a bit annoying because you have to manually configure every single action.
So can I get a general like explanation on this mode, because I literally don't understand what it does. What it
Maybe
does.
the people, maybe the viewers know about it more.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'd
would
say
like
you
to-
just have to play around with it, and I mean, it should be self-explanatory.
I know a lot of Japanese players use advanced.
Is the download pinned in the mods channel? In the
it
Soku
is.
mods channel, yeah.
I know a lot of Japanese players use stuff like AI Manager to set up practice with the AI, so this is probably close to what they do.
We are more advanced community. We use lower level players as practice bots.
You know, speaking of Soku mods, shoutouts to fucking Shinki. He dropped us the
fine.
hitbox viewer after all
Oh
these
my
years.
god.
That's important.
It's actually so
something I
useful.
was waiting for so long.
I was actually able to make so many videos for this podcast that we'll be getting to whenever we start covering Yuyuko, just because Shinki finally released that thing, and it's amazing. Thank you, Shinki. You're able to display hitboxes, you're able to display frame data, hit stun, juggle meter. You're also able to press buttons to literally slow down the game and play it back frame by frame, so you can autistically count out how plus or minus you are after a certain move, which I actually do a lot.
Well, I mean, that's usually how fighting games are played. You get the hitboxes and you just kind of do the optimal stuff if you can.
Yeah, it
Which
helped
is-
me figure
which
out
is nice, well.
things like wipe moisture, just being plus or minus, and wipe moisture happens to be, what was it, minus 17 on block. That's pretty silly.
Well,
Yeah, it's a Rekka.
It's not a Rekka. It's just it's a B or C version.
it's a gamble rather than a real Rekka. Rekka you can decide when to move on to the next part of the move, but the Patchouli move is just either 2 hits or 3 hits. There is no in between.
It's like a half Rekka.
It's fine by me then. Okay. Well, let's do the happen. I guess nothing else happened that we have to, check on.
It's about to be the turn of the hour.
Finally, the boring recap is over. Now we can finally move on to the
Well,
real
I
news
guess-
of the
I-
podcast.
I guess later after the podcast we have the Swiss.
That's a
And
good
it should start in an hour, so people still have time. So we have to hurry up too. So
Yeah,
less people
let's-
miss it.
let's dive in instantly into Yuyuko. So,
also referred to as Chuchuko.
oh,
Actually, I heard her last name is pronounced Saignochi.
no,
Yes.
I'm going to die.
Gnocchi. Pronounce it Genki.
Okay, look, it's gnocchi. Okay, it's gnocchi.
Gnocchi?
God dang it. It's gnocchi. Sa gnocchi. It doesn't even sound well in Italian because... Ah, jeez, you guys.
So before we get into the actual gameplay, there's a little fun fact about Yuyuko that Klemper told Zatan. In Japan, her name isn't actually Yuyuko Saigyoji, it's Yuyuko Saikyoji. It's a little inside joke because if you change Saigyo to Saikyo, Saikyo means strongest. So she's like literally Yuyuko the strongest.
The strongest Yoji.
Saikyoji, yes.
Strong Yoji. Yeah.
Unga,
That's
Unga.
the good name. So usually we start with the lore of the character. Knowing you, you know a bunch of stuff. You do like your pink-haired girls, so I know.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually looked into Yuyuko's lore as much as I probably should have. I know that she's really important in Silent Sinner and Blue, but just in stuff like Imperishable Night, and what was the other one? Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, and then there's also not 10 Desires, but the other one that was like Toho 13. Which one was that?
Yeah, I think it was 13.
Yeah,
She was a first boss.
Yeah, the Toho with Yuyuko as the stage 1 boss. I really like Yuyuko because in all those games she shows herself off as being really whimsical, but really wise at the same time. She always kind of has a sense of exactly what's going on. Even though she doesn't necessarily reveal it or do anything about it, it's like she's incredibly lazy, but she always knows exactly what's going on. But fun fact, in Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, Yuyuko was actually the first character in all the story modes to figure out that Tenchi was the culprit behind the incident. And she figures it out as soon as she sees Iku. Even Yukari doesn't figure it out faster than she does. So she's got that really cool lore personality about her. She's basically one of the wisest Tohos. She has a really good idea of what's going on. She is not necessarily more intelligent than Yukari or anything like that, but she seems to have more... She's better at predicting things, if that makes any sense.
The mind games. Ooh.
Yeah, but then she balances it out by being lazy, and yeah, she's a fucking gorilla. She literally ate Mystia.
So I guess as a lore character, she's pretty damn strong overall, like mentally and physically.
If you think about Yuyuko's power, she has the power to manipulate life and death, which is easily the strongest power ever, and it's even explained that power there's no defense against that power. If Yuyuko wants you dead, she can just kill you. So it's kind of like Soku in that regard.
Top fucking tier.
She's always top tier, no matter what game you're playing. She's always top tier. Oh man.
I mean, do you think her personality relates to it all? I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah.
Relates
because
to
you act like an idiot, and then you get drunk a lot, but you know, you're a really smart guy.
Oh, that's what people used to say about me. They said, you know, you're exactly like Yuyuko. You act like a fucking moron, but in reality, you're only acting like a moron because you actually know what's going on. And to that I say you're flattering me too much. I'm stupid.
Oh, that's nice of you.
But interestingly enough, I actually think her lore fits in really well with her Soku gameplay because she has things like Time Bomb and the 2-card Poison, which really display her ability to manipulate life and death. Because, I mean, literally, 2-card Poison is just a move that drains out your life, and then Time Bomb is just a move that she calls out when you're going to die, and then like 10 seconds later you die. It's pretty hype.
That's some Kenshiro shit.
Although it's not 10 seconds, it's like 6 or something. I don't remember exactly. So yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess that's a good presentation you did there. Ooh.
Yeah, no, I didn't really pick Yuyuko as a Soku main because I liked her playstyle or anything like that. I picked her because I like her personality.
Well, I think it's time to jump on into the Soku. Now, this character is really strong in Soku. She is in fact the top tier of this game. But
no, I just played her. That's wrong. She sucks 3.
See, as we can see from our fellow Soku players, they know very well how to play the Yuyuko character, but they probably don't know how to play her correctly. So do you think you can tell us a little bit more on how to play Yuyuko?
I can, but I'll also tell you I can't tell you as much as others. I mean, I got 20-0'd by Azel literally last night, so there are better Yuyukos out there than me. Where should we start, though? What aspect of Yuyuko do you think we should talk about first?
How about
In
the
terms of her
neutral?
gameplay.
Like, what does she do in neutral? How does she approach? What is her defensive options?
Oh boy.
So, defensive options. Actually, Yuyuko doesn't have very many good defensive options in terms of when the opponent is already on top of her. Yuyuko is very, and I know you're going to give me a lot of shit for this, but you actually have to think about what your opponent is going to do next. You have to do preemptive defensive maneuvers as Yuyuko. 2B, alright, don't give me the 2B, 2C shit. The thing about 2B is that 2B has about, I think, 16 frames of startup for the bottom row of butterflies, and that's extremely slow because you get 16 frames, you put out the bottom row of butterflies, and then it works its way upwards to the top row of butterflies, to the point where I think it's like 24 or something frames until you actually get the top row of butterflies out. I don't know any character that isn't going to mash me out when they're right on top of me fast, that can't mash me out faster than 24 frames. So, 2B, you can do it really early, but it's not going to work out if you do it when the opponent is right on top of you.
So it's more like a neutral anti-air of some sorts, like a shield, let's say.
Yeah, the way Phoenix M described it whenever I asked him about it fucking years ago is that it is a preemptive anti-air. You have to predict that your opponent is going to come in through the air, and you press 2B before they do that.
Sounds pretty good.
And then, the other way that she can also set up defensive options is against the aerial approach is 421C, and that's another really, really slow move, but despite it being slow, it has a lot of active frames, and it will cover the space above and in front of you for a while. Beyond that, probably the best way to do defense as Yuyuko is to set up land cancel J6Cs. Whenever you do a J6C and you land cancel it, you basically have a bullet on screen that doesn't interact with most of the bullets in the game, with the exception of Alice's dolls and Suika's mini Suikas. So what you can do is you can set up a land cancel J6C, land, and then follow the bullet around, and your opponent will have to be a lot more careful about attacking you. Because if you just wait there while blocking, if your opponent tries to attack you, they're going to get hit just after you block by the J6C. I mean, I know Genki can attest to that because I definitely use that a lot in my games versus him.
Well, that reminds me of Komachi. She has the same mechanic using C bullet. She just follows behind, pretty much the same, really.
Yeah.
And
So
the Yuyuko bullet, as you said, give me a second. As you said, is an entity, right? So most bullets will not work. So pretty much you have no defense, just block, or you basically lose the turn in neutral.
I mean, yeah, in a way, but then also what you need to do is you need to wait it out. Like, Genki, what do you do whenever you see 6C in the...
2B.
2B?
It's an entity, so I get that thing out, usually, kind of.
And I mean, in general, even though you're land canceling it, there's still a little bit of time, so it can be sniped out if you keep going for J6Cs on land cancel. You have to read it, but you can do it.
So that's basically the entire defense of Yuyuko in neutral, right?
I mean, Morphman, you tell me, because it seems to me like you think that Yuyuko has a completely different way to defend.
I mean, she has the default 6-3, which can be used as a sort of defensive maneuver if you expect an enemy bullet. You have access to tons of reversals, actually. I mean, she has got 3 different reversal spells. Okay, admittedly, 2 of them aren't that great. At least if you want to be defensive as Yuyuko, I guess you need to use meter for it, right?
Yeah.
Then it will be alright.
Actually,
Of course, missing out on other stuff like offense and crush abilities, but at least you have the options if you want to be defensive.
definitely. Her defensive options as far as reversals go, she's only got one really, really good reversal, but the other ones aren't terrible. Zero Fuse, can you play the video that is about the 2-card reversal? I can kind of explain more about that.
Sure thing.
Oh, cool. We really go into reversals or just part of the neutral defense?
I mean, I figure since I made the video, I may as well talk about it, even though it's technically a spell card. So when Zero Few shows off the video that I made, what you're gonna see is that whenever Yuyuko uses her 2-card reversal, not the one that is a delayed reversal and shoots out butterflies, but the one that is actually an instant reversal, you're going to notice 2 things. One is that it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, even if you get it from a really close hit. And that's not really too bad, but the bad part about it is that at most angles, you are going to actually be able to tech after getting hit by that reversal very quickly before Yuyuko really has enough time to set up anything like, I don't know, bullets to make her more safe. So it's a little bit dangerous to just go out and do that. And yeah, it's 2.9k, but that's only 2.9k when it's really, really close to you. Whenever you hit it from the tip, it's only like 1.7k, and people can still tech out of it pretty much immediately. So yeah, that's the problem. Even if you get hit, you can get put into a bad situation for it.
Yeah, but you wouldn't use it in a situation where you could get that hard punished now, would you?
Yeah, I mean, you can. You definitely can. The other problem is it has a much slower startup than the 4-card reversal, which has like an 8-frame startup, so you can use that ridiculously quickly.
Then again, even if you whiff, like, just on a theory, if you use the 2SC and hit in a bad way that puts you in a disgusting position, if you run reverse screens, would that work afterwards? Like in the clip, the enemy does a J2A, would that actually work against it? Or is the recovery still too low?
I guess, like, you're asking me what would happen if the opponent did reverse screens immediately after when the opponent goes for J2A, right?
Exactly, like in the clip.
Yeah, you would hit the reverse screens if you were... and this is where the if comes in, one of 2 things needs to be happening. One, either you need to have reverse screens at level 3 minimum, because if not, the hitbox isn't going to be big enough. Or 2, you need to be standing in the back of the corner. Because the thing about reverse screens is because it flips you backwards, your hitbox gets sent flying backwards too. So people that approach you with things like J2A, your DP is going to whiff if you don't have a corner to get backed up into. Zero, can you actually show off the reverse screens video?
Wow, you're prepared.
Let me just grab that.
You're really prepared, Irish.
Yeah, it's labeled DP corner versus mid screen.
Damn.
Yeah, I can talk about that one.
We are actually learning a lot today.
Yeah, as far as this 4-card goes, there are 2 things about it that make it a lot better. One, actually no, there are 3 fucking things about it that make it better. One is that it does minimum 3.5 orbs of spirit damage. And 2, the other thing that it does is that it works as a whiff punish, because your opponent, if they press like something like J2A near you, even if they don't hit you, it still comes out so quickly that if they whiff, you're able to punish them for the whiff. So that video that I'm showing right now, it's level 1 reverse screens, but you can see that I'm doing it from 2 different positions. One position I'm facing towards mid screen, and the other position I'm facing towards the corner. And you notice that it whiffs only when I'm facing out towards the corner, because what happens is, because the hitbox doesn't get sent flying back, because I have the corner to stop me, it actually works as an effective reversal. So people kind of think that this DP can be used the exact same way as every other DP, where you just punish everything in neutral, but it's a bit more limited than that. It's more of a defensive tool when you're actually in the corner.
Or if the enemy's about to jump on you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually I have another video for that. Can you show DP anti-air?
Wow, really?
I just understood DP hentai-air.
Did you basically predict every kind of...
I just have the really important things that I want to talk about.
He got to read some Morphman before the podcast.
Right now...
I mean, I know the characters, so if you watch that video, what you can see is that's level 1 DP, and even though I'm doing it mid-screen, the thing has such a high upwards hitbox that if they're actually behind you, whenever they're trying to go in, like, let's say for a cross-up or something like that, it can hit them that far up. So it works as a fairly decent anti-air, even in mid-screen. You just have to know the way that the hitbox is going to be working.
Just the way I showed in the stream games.
Yeah, pretty much. Kahila, you can't follow DP up with anything, but the thing about it is that it's you can't tech after getting hit by it. So even if it has a long amount of recovery, you know, it at least gets you reset back to neutral.
Can you cancel DP into a spell card?
You know, I haven't actually tested it that much. I'm not sure. My guess would be not right away off of most spell cards because you're technically in the air for a while.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You might be able to do it with something like, what is it called, Deathlance, because that's air usable, but I actually haven't tested it myself.
Sounds interesting.
Okay, and since we're at it, you may as well show the last DP video. Can you show DP level 2 versus level 3?
No. So there's a big difference between the two?
There's a gigantic difference between the hitboxes on the two, and as soon as Zero Fuse gets the video up on the screen, you'll be able to see it. Yeah, so that's level 2 reverse screens. As you can see, the hitbox barely covers any space. You'll whiff even if you're literally right in front of her. At level 3, you see the hitbox gets extended ridiculously, and you can even hit people in mid-screen with it. Also,
so when you decide to run it, you should level it up always.
Yeah, and actually, reverse screens is one of those moves that you may not always want to use it at level 1. What you may want to do is actually just level it up instead of doing the actual move. Or the other thing you can do is you can use it as a combo ender, but that's like a really shitty ender. But yeah, I think DP is usable, and I actually see a couple of Japanese players use it. Like I don't see Azel use it usually, but others like Mian will use it on occasion in certain matchups. So it's an underutilized tool in Yuyuko's toolset because it's not as good as other DPs, but it's still a fucking DP.
I mean, that's as far as defense goes. I guess Yuyuko has a DP, but you just want to use it when it's level 3, I guess?
You want to use it when it's level 3 or when you're in the corner.
Okay. Well, what about Yuyuko's offensive options? Because you've covered what you can do in defense, but we all struggle, you know, against Yuyuko pressure because she does a lot of 2-card, a lot of 3-card crushes, and this is the sort of thing that like we just hate Yuyuko for. And then she's got the setups. So can you tell us a little bit about her pressure?
Okay, so Yuyuko's pressure, there's a flowchart to it, and as soon as you can recognize the flowchart, it's a lot more easy to adapt to. Basically, Yuyuko's goal in pressure is to make you block 6C, 421C. And the reason why that is because 6C, 421C functions as a pressure reset. Your opponent is forced to block 421C, while you can high jump cancel and go into things like J5A afterwards. Knowing that, there's always going to be a certain string of moves that come right before 6C, 421C, and that's usually going to be 6A or 3A, and then they're going to go into 6C. So what's typically going to happen is that if you see those moves, you want to border escape them immediately, because the only thing that Yuyuko can do to catch a border escape off of 6A or 3A is instantly do a 623. It's not something where you can delay it, because if you do, for example, 6A, 6C, 623, and you delay it even a tiny bit, they will get out for free instantly, despite the fact that you press 623. They have to do 6A, 623, and that's a really hard read if you don't have like a reversal or something to make it safe. But in general, don't be as afraid of Yuyuko's pressure as you think it might be. A couple things that Yuyuko has about her pressure that are weak compared to other characters' pressure is that most of her moves can actually be mashed out of safely if she's not canceling into something else. 2A stagger, it's 0 on right block, but even still, if you're right blocking it, it only has 8 frame startup. So if you're playing a character like Mei Ling, Chirno, anything like that that can mash at 8 frames or faster, you can mash out of Yuyuko's pressure pretty easily. And 4A, which is the usual high-low mix-up that Yuyuko goes into, is very minus, even on right block. I think it's -2. It has a 10 frame startup. So it's 12 frames. Most characters can mash after blocking a 4A. And the only thing that Yuyuko can do about that is cancel into 6C or 6A or 3A after 4A. But a lot of us are going to get really greedy because high-low mix-up staggers is the way that we're going to get most of our orb damage. So we're just going to like go 4A, 2A, 2A, 4A, and that's all mashable. You can mash out at any single point during that string.
Wait, you say if the enemy tries to bullshit me like that, I should try to mash. But as far as I know, Yuyuko's normals are 7 frames.
2A is 8, 4A is 10.
Well, okay, then as Suika, I think my 2 and 5A are 9 frames. So should I attempt it, or does that only count for people like Mailing who have 6 frame mashes?
So you can definitely mash out of 4A. That's the thing. And even if you're not mashing out of staggers, there's another thing that you have to watch for with Yuyuko's pressure. You may not notice this, and I actually should have made a video about this, but every single time that Yuyuko gets a successful 2A or 4A block, it pushes her back a lot, actually, to the point where she can only, where if she pushes herself as far into the opponent as possible and mashes 2A, she can only connect 2A 3 times. After doing it 3 times, she has to go into either 6A or 3A because any other move is going to whiff, and stuff like 6C and 421C aren't going to be tight at that distance. So, the thing that you will usually see happen is that people playing Yuyuko will mash like 2A, 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 and then they will dash up to you and try to go for 2A again to reset pressure. But that is completely... that's fake. You can mash out of that.
What about the range of 2A? It seems kind of far. Like, I feel like some characters wouldn't actually be able to reverse mash the Yuko with 2A range.
So, yeah, 2A is actually one of the best normals in the game, in my opinion, as far as ground normals go. It's got really good range. It's got an 8-frame startup. And to that, I would say, yeah, basically what you want to wait for is her to do a great dash and then go into 2A, because even though it's fast and it's got a pretty long hitbox, it still pushes her really far back, to the point where at some point she has to graze if she wants to keep mashing 2A. And there goes the Sunday Swiss check-in.
Sounds like sounds like the typical pressure of most characters, where after a certain number of attacks, they are pushed back so much that they have to either dash or commit to a longer button.
Yeah, so... And the other thing about Yuyuko, and here's kind of the part where I will talk about this for the actual Yuyuko mains, and what you do to get around stuff like that. So, Yuyuko's biggest problem is that she's really border escapable in pressure. Even stuff like fucking 2A staggers. I played against Shinky, and he was border escaping out of my 2A staggers, because they don't catch border escapes, they're not that fast. And what you can actually do is you can start encouraging people to border escape at certain points, like after 6A, 6C, and then you can start doing different moves in order to mess with them. Like, something that will be really common that I will do is you can go up to somebody, press 2A, and then press 6B, or not 6B, 5B. And since they're waiting for the whatchamacallit, for the 6A, they're not going to expect the 5B to happen, and they're going to block it by accident. And that's a big problem, because you're really, really minus after blocking 5B, and you also take 1.5 orbs of spirit damage by blocking a 5B, so you can get crushed absurdly fast. You can just do 2A, 5B, and if they block it at all, you go into 2A and you're plus again.
So it's a really basic mind game where you start conditioning people by doing the usual block strings, but then you don't do the obvious border escape points, so they're like, okay, when do I border escape? But so
yeah,
they get tricked.
Exactly, and another thing you can actually do is you can do jumping resets. Like, something that I will often see Azel doing is he will literally just press 2A, 2A, and then high jump 9, J66, J2A. You know,
oh, man.
They're completely mixing it up so that although you're waiting for that 6C, 421C, it's not coming, and you're going to end up having to block a lot more things than you actually expected.
That's what I do as Yomu myself, as new kind of pressure, you know. That's pretty neat.
So, after you get all past that bullshit where you're just doing a bunch of fake pressure, because all pressure in Soku is fake, and you've somehow convinced your opponent to lose 4 orbs, what you want to do is you want to cancel immediately into 623B, because that will catch your opponent trying to border escape, and then you cancel into either 1 card, 2 card poison, or 4 card reversal. If you do 1 card, that does 1.1 orbs of damage, 2 card does 1 orb of damage, and then Yuyuko's 623B into 4 card reversal actually does 3.5 orbs of damage. So when you do that, and you manage to get your opponent to lose a couple of orbs, you can crush them very quickly.
About that 4 card, maybe you want to talk about the sweet spot later?
Oh, no, I can actually talk about it. I don't know, should I talk about it right now since I'm already talking about the 4 card?
I guess. Sounds
I
pretty
mean, on
good.
the topic of pressure, the spell cards kind of go hand in hand. Like, you use these in pressure, so yeah, let's go for it. Which one do you want to talk about first?
So, put up the video for position-specific 4 card reversal.
Oh, I love that. Let's go. The sweet spot.
Okay, so this is something I don't think a lot of Yuyukos have labbed out. The 4 card reversal is not... It doesn't do the same amount of spirit damage at every single position that you hit it off of. The classic confirmment of 4 card reversal is going to be 623B and then 4 card reversal. And that'll usually do anywhere from 3.5 to 3.8 orbs of damage. So it's pretty good, but you can do a little bit better. And as you can see, if you do it right on top of somebody, it only ends up doing, like, how much? Like 3 orbs of damage. But there are certain spacings where you can actually get around 4.5 orbs of damage off of a single 4 card, and that's absolutely insane for a single card. And the actual specific spacing that you want to do to get that much damage is you do 5 AA, like you just go like as far deep into them as possible, and you do 2 hits of a dial A, and then you wait. And this is really important because for some reason if you don't wait, Soku actually pushes you back a lot more. But then if you do that, you do 5 AA, and then you wait for yourself to stop, you wait for your momentum to stop, you press 421C, and then it's tight and it does anywhere from 4.5 to 4.6 orbs of damage. And against Sanai, I don't know why it works against Sanai, but you actually instantly crush her from 5 orbs.
So
I
it's
think
very balanced.
I think it's because Sanai has a really strange hurt box. It's like really fat for some reason.
But I mean, on the other hand, you waste 4 cards for 1 crush. Okay, I would say that is not bad. I mean, you are using your resources, but it's not the end of the world. If it was a 2 card that could do it, then I would say, yeah, okay, that would be sick. But for a 4 card, I think that's fair. Or do you disagree there? I mean, what I think, if you use two cards, like a 2-cost card for a crush, that's fair.
So, yeah, you're actually
Like Sakuya is doing it. So if the Yuyuko uses 4 cards for a crush, I mean, come on, that's fair meter usage, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Marvin. This is the part where I start to say exactly what Fear and Blaze Dragon have been saying for a while about Yuyuko's pressure. Yuyuko's pressure is like, it's expensive for how little it does. You can spend 1 card to get 1.1 orbs of damage. That's okay. Then you gotta spend 2 cards to get 1 orb of damage again. You can use Time Bomb to try to crush people, and that also only does 1 orb of damage. And then you can use a reversal to try to crush people, and even though that does a shit ton of orb damage, it's still only going to do 3.5 orbs of damage for the fact that it's a fucking 4 card. And even after crushing people, you're not going to get a whole lot of damage out of it. Compare it to Raisin's pressure, compare it to Ran, or not Ran, but Yukari using Ran, which is a 3 card, and you get a free pressure follow-up after it. 2 card and 1 card are minus. 4 card is very minus. Yuyuko's pressure actually isn't that good compared to other characters because of how minus it is, and it has to end at some point.
So there are no real reasons.
Yeah, and then there's like, you got Sakuya and stuff like that. She's got Private Square and Killing Doll, where she can make you lose a shit ton of orbs off of using 2 cards and 3 cards, and that's hella compared to what Yuyuko has. Yeah, Time Bomb is +4, but you're only getting 1 orb of damage for 4 cards. Like, is that even worth it? I mean, it's worth it if it'll win you the game, but otherwise, no.
Well, I guess for what I mean, the cost is definitely high and doesn't sound like really enjoyable. You're wasting so much, but I mean, I don't think Yuyuko is really a pressure-based character after all. We were talking about pressure, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about the Yuyuko defense, but what about neutral in general?
Oh, neutral, Yuyuko is definitely a very powerful neutral character, and that is where I would say that the majority of her damage comes from, aside from Okizeme. So, as far as neutral goes, Yuyuko has a lot of really good options. Land Cancel J6C is one of the strongest tools that any character in the game has, because it is a bullet that homes in on your opponent and is non-interacting with any bullet except for Mini Suikas and Alice dolls. And that's absolutely crazy. Beyond that, I think she's got one of the best aerial normals in the game. J2A, it's a slow starting move. A lot of people don't realize that it's actually an incredibly slow starting move.
It is slow, but holy shit is it powerful once it hits.
Yeah, you have to actually... And this is the part where people are going to be like, no, you're fucking lying, Yuyuko's a gorilla. You have to think about what you're going to use.
I like how you can even say it's right without laughing.
Zero, can you put on the video that says J66 J2A counter?
Fine.
Fine.
You're boring him already, poor guy.
But for once we have someone that actually comes prepared with video and explanation. I mean, this is pretty interesting.
The podcast crew is falling asleep.
No, I'm just messing with you. What's the name of the video?
J66 J2A counter.
I would like to say that it's definitely a slow-moving hitbox, because the Yomo 5 card, the 6 root, is actually really strong against Yuyuko J2A. It's so slow you have the time to react to the jump and actually counter correctly.
It's so slow you actually have time to react to the physical move. So
yeah.
If you see the video that Zero Fuse is playing right now, literally what I'm doing and what I'm showing you is that you can watch Yuyuko set up a J66 and still react in time to beat out a J2A before it's able to start up. And the reason why that is because J2A has, I think, 16 frames of startup compared to most characters which have like 10 frame J5As. And the other thing that makes it a little bit dangerous is a lot of you may say, oh, well, why don't you just do something like high jump and then instantly do J2A? And you can definitely do that, but the problem with it is that if it's blocked, you lose all your pressure because you're not able to land cancel J2A, which is the most powerful part about it. And then the other thing that you can do, and this is where the thinking Yuyuko comes into play, you actually have to fly above your opponent to try to bring it down at the correct angle to where you can land cancel it and be at a not like big disadvantage at the same time, if that makes any sense.
Here I would like to break out the classic. What about lag?
What about lag? What about it?
I mean, it's pretty hard to do the thing we are seeing now on screen in some lag.
Yeah, 4 frames of delay, stuff like that. It can definitely harm it a little bit, but you also have to think about the fact that your opponent isn't usually going to be making instant decisions to do J66, J2A. They're going to be doing it on reaction to some sort of movement pattern that you're doing. So, and what Lusek said, it's hard to do fucking anything in lag.
So you can still react, or at least predict and react.
Or should I just mash the D9 J5A any case?
So, if the Yuyuko knows that you're going to be doing that constantly, she can also do instant air, high jump, not in J5A. So, it's a 50-50 in a way, because if she does that, and you don't jump to go up and counter it, all Yuyuko does is whiff a move, and she has a decent amount of recovery. So especially characters like Raisin, they just press 6-6B, and it's the easiest punish of their life. And then I guess the other thing that I want you to show, Zero, is can you show J2A instant air BE?
What is this now?
So this is what people... A lot of people, they complain that Yuyuko is able to cover a lot of space by jumping up and instantly doing J2A. And she's got like a fat, thick hitbox that can just fuck up anything. And here I'm gonna show you why.
Which one is it?
It's J2A IA E. Do you have that one?
Got him.
Yeah, so basically the deal with Yuyuko's J2A is that she can literally just mash high jump 9 J2A, and instantly, because she's so high up, she can't land cancel it to catch any sort of border escape. So if you border escape the last hit, she can do 2A, she can do 4A, she can do 6A, and you're still gonna be out of there for free. Doing stuff like instant air J2As are really, it's a big commitment, where if the opponent blocks it, there's very little that Yuyuko can do to counter it. You're just gonna have to kind of suck it up and let your opponent escape. I mean, you can do like J2C after it, but that's a bullet. People just graze out of the way.
Normek is saying that he hasn't that.
No, of course Normac hasn't learned anything. He's like my #1 lab partner. But then, so, I guess what I would say to Yuyuko is, in order to counter stuff like this from your opponent just walking out of fake stuff like this, is that you want to set up things like bullet approaches with J2C, J5C, and J6C, so that whenever you're hitting your opponent with J2A, even if it's really high up, you still have the bullets following up on them, making them forcing them to block them. They can still border escape it, but because they're having to border escape bullets instead of only the J2A, you have a little bit more time to punish it. And you're also safe from punishes if they escape, if you have good bullet coverage.
What if my opponent can do border escapes? But what about that?
What do you mean? They can't do border escapes?
I mean, yeah.
Well, then you just win the game, my man.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, so...
Makes me feel sad.
So, one of Yuyuko's underutilized moves, I think... No, I'm wrong. It's not underutilized, but Gorilla starting scrub Yuyuko's might underutilize it because I think J2A is such a good move. J5A is 10-frame startup, and it actually has a ridiculously thick hitbox. It will beat out a lot of J5As, not based on speed, but based on the fact that it's really well positioned. So, that's probably one of your most threatening moves to use in aerial neutral. But if you whiff it, it's kind of hard to cancel into anything else, so you gotta be careful about that. Let me see. Something else that you can do, for example, to approach in neutral is you can set up 214B. And let me see, do I have a webm of this? Nah, I forgot to make one. Anyway, you can set up default 214B, and that'll send butterflies behind your opponent, so it'll force your opponent to come to you, and because of that, you're able to fly above them and sort of like work your way down to set up a cross-up, if that makes any sense.
Well, hard to imagine without the video, but I guess some people understand what you're getting at.
Yeah, I showed it to Nitin the other day, and he knows what it's about.
So this is mostly neutral and stuff. So is there more to the neutral that we are missing here?
Let's see. So, okay, one little neat neutral trick that you can do is that J5A, whenever you force your opponent to block it in the air, you can do a couple of different follow-ups from it. You can do J5A, and then just wait, and straight up do nothing, and wait for your opponent to fall back down with you,
and then you do J2A or J5A again, and then dash in with a 6-6A, and that becomes an air unblockable, which is something that a lot of characters can do. But then the reason why it's good as Yuyuko is because you can actually force respect on it with a mix-up. Because what Yuyuko can do is do J5A, and then delay it a little bit so that Yuyuko starts falling down, and then press J6A. And because of the way the J6A's hitbox property works, it's actually a cross-under, and you hit your opponent, and it's really a huge pain in the ass to deal with. So yeah, as far as neutral goes with Yuyuko, definitely set up your bullets, and be really wary of the fact that Yuyuko has a lot of recovery off of whiffed moves. That's why Yuyuko uses her aerials so much, because on the ground, her neutral is actually incredibly weak, in my opinion. A lot of people might disagree with this, but I think moves like F5A... Well, everybody knows F5A is trash. It has no hitbox and incredibly long recovery. But then beyond that, she has stuff like 4A and 2A, which are probably her best ground neutral moves, but then after that, she doesn't have many good options. 6-6B has a really long startup. 6-6A is incredibly punishable if you block it, because the only thing you can do if it's blocked is cancel into 6-2-3, and if they block that again, then you're just going to get punished. Yuyuko also has very little mid-screen pressure that can't be border escapes. You can't even catch mid-screen border escapes using 6-2-3B as Yuyuko. 3A is a decent move for Yuyuko to use, but it only has 3 active frames, and it has an extended hurt box and very long recovery. So in general, most of your approaches with Yuyuko want to be in the air, because her ground normals are pretty dangerous when you whip them. Do you guys disagree? Are you guys like, nah, she's bullshit?
I mean, okay, they are punishable, I give you that, but let's be honest, they have pretty good reach, so you won't fail at using them that often compared to other characters.
No,
I mean, when we pick someone else like Alice, for example, she can easily with normal 5A.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, but the other problem is that even though it has such good reach, the biggest problem is obviously the recovery on them. Because, you know, you can only spam a move with long reach for so long before you have to get hit for fucking up.
Also, let's not forget, she is also a character that is pretty tall. And her normals are actually pretty high above the ground, so her air unblockable potential is pretty high. As Suika, who is pretty small, and notice I can use air unblockables, but not as well as taller characters.
Oh my god, thank you for reminding me about air unblockables. Zero Fuse, play the 6-6C counter hit reset video.
That already sounds disgusting.
Yeah, Irish, why is 3A bad and why are you fucking wrong? 3A has... I forget how many frames of startup it has. It has a pretty long amount of startup frames. It only is active for 3 frames, and it extends your hurt box for like 20 frames after whipping it. That's why it's bad. Okay, so... Yeah, so that's what I'm showing you, and that is part of what Yuyuko can do as air unblockable resets.
Have you ever done it in an actual match?
Actually, well, no, because I discovered this after I retired, but Normac did it to Blaze Dragon.
Wow, to god.
I want to see, god dang it.
Yeah, and Normac is actually the one who discovered this tech. We were laughing some shit out, and then he just like started mashing buttons, and then we figured out amazing things.
Wait, what? Man, this thing is behind.
I mean, this goes back to the very first video we showed.
But
just belt and do the big damage and crush the raisin.
Wait, what?
What
the? What is that?
So the idea behind this is that, and that's not even a counter hit. If you do a counter hit or a normal hit, it still works. But the idea behind it is that you get a counter hit J6A, or 6-6C, and the normal combo to follow up with is J5A, J2A, J6C. So you do J5A, J2A, and then it looks like you fucked up and whipped the J6C, so people are like, oh, tech out of it, punish it, he fucked up. But you're ready for it. 6-2-3-B is a pretty thick air unblockable. So you do that, you reset, and then you hit the 5 card, and it's a reset that adds up to 5.1k.
Oh, damn. I love me some unblockables.
Yeah, no, if they tech, they're gonna get hit. It's air unblockable. They don't have a choice.
Yo, let me cut in for a second. I think I was notified of this. Yeah, the Sunday Swiss is about to start in 50 minutes. And I want to ask the viewers if they are willing to join it. Like, just chilling it for Sanger.
Yeah, I mean, if it had already happens in 15 minutes, then I would have only had an hour and a half for the podcast, and I still have like a shit ton of videos to go through.
I mean, we still can. I mean, people can play in the Sunday Swiss. You know that it's not, let's say, that competitive. I mean, you can listen to the podcast in the meantime. I would suggest doing that. Maybe you guys are starting to pick Yuyuko's. How about that? Just all join it and play Yuyuko. Why not?
Playing the Sunday Swiss while listening to the podcast.
Man, this reset is amazing.
Can't get the reason out of his mind. It's too good.
I love reasons. Like it does at least us live. It's so neat. Oh.
Yeah, it just looks super cool. Actually, I forgot to do this. Can you show the J2A High Escape MP4 video? I just wanted to talk about this in terms of defending against Yuyuko, because a lot of people might call me out on bullshit for being like, oh, you can't escape against Yuyuko's high J2As, you know, if fucking good players are just gonna do this against it. So I made a video of me escaping against Basil doing a really high J2A. You know, just to kind of prove the points in a real Okizeme situation.
Good technology.
So I'm right now thinking if I should join the Sunday Swiss, but I think I should be more focused on this podcast, right?
Maybe. So yeah, that's proof of the concept. If a Yuyuko does a really high J2A against you, it doesn't matter if it's Nitten or Azel, don't respect it, just get out of there, it's free. Yeah, so I wanted to show that. I guess the other thing I should talk about with Yuyuko is Okizeme, right?
That's a good part of their offense. I don't know where we are in the flow right now.
Well, we talk about neutral, we talk about defense, we talk about offense, so all that remains is Okizeme, yeah.
Yeah, key pressure. Look, go on.
Okay, just to show off some cool stuff that you can do, can you play the 5-card setup video? I'm not actually going to be talking about 5-card, but you can just see this WebM and see that I think Yuyuko's Okizeme is one of the best parts about her. Despite that, Fear says that fucking Yuyuko is an Okizeme character with bad Okizeme, so there's that. But yeah, here's a setup you can do with Yuyuko where if your opponent is low on 1 orb and you set up 6C and 214, against characters that don't have enough tech range to tech out of that, you can actually mash 5-card and it's a guaranteed crush.
Wait. I don't think it's on screen right now.
It'll show up on screen in a little bit. But yeah, against characters like Raisin and Sakuya, this is incredibly powerful. I still wouldn't run 5-card though, so it's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, there we go.
That's level 1 Bloom. All the tech that I'm going to be showing off with Spear Bloom is at level 1. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's actually something I think Phoenix M showed me a long time ago, and it's super cool.
I think Genki did it better with his, I don't know what's the input with that ring to make it not a ring into. Yeah. I can't believe I fell for that. I didn't even know that was possible because I thought I can just graze downwards and block.
Sometime I'm Irish, so I have some vague technology here and there.
Okay, so I guess I should show you some really basic Yuyuko Okizeme. And I don't know, most people already understand that Yuyuko Okizeme is like, you jump back, you press 214B, and then you run after your opponent with J5A. Most people know that, so I'm going to try to show off the cooler stuff about Yuyuko Okizeme that not everybody might know about right away. So can you play the J2A cross-up Okizeme video? And awesome. Yeah, this one's pretty fun.
Oh jeez.
No, wait for that to come on screen before talking about it.
Sounds spooky as hell.
Okay, so keep in mind that I am doing this at 30 frames per second, so it looks way slower than it actually is. So, as you can see here, what the trick is that after you do a knockdown as Yuyuko, you set up 6C, 214C, and then you do high jump 7, J6-6, and then when you do J6-6, that looks like you're predicting the opponent to actually not tech out of the corner, and your opponent thinks, oh, he messed up, I can just run away now. And that's when you do J4-4, and that happens just in time to cross the opponent up before they are able to react. Now,
wait, you can actually do J4-4 after J6A?
Yeah.
Wait, is that... Can every character do that?
Yeah, that's a different setup that I'm talking about.
Okay, because I'm kind of confused there. Alright, keep going.
Yeah, so on this setup, it's pretty good, and especially against, it's not just against short techers. If it's a character that techs a lot more far away, you can just high jump back and wait for a little bit longer before doing J6A, or J6-6 rather. Yeah, it's pretty good. It gets really predictable though. Like, Ran would do this to me literally every single time, and by the end of the set I was blocking it every single time. So, it's not, it's something that will definitely work a lot when your opponent hasn't been conditioned to respect it. But there is actually stuff that you can do when your opponent has been conditioned to respect it. Can you play the... what is this? The J6A cross-up video?
I think Zero is a bit busy for a moment. Oh, okay.
No, he just came back.
Oh, he's fast.
You're Zero Fuse, right?
Yep.
Still alive? Yeah, I just said him.
So I had to play this back in extreme fucking slow motion. The blue Yuyuko there, the blue and gray one, that is Azel. You see he does 2 J4-4s, J6A, and because J6A pushes you forward and has a hitbox that extends behind Yuyuko, you can actually jump above your opponent, and you can follow up and get a cross-up off of that.
How do you discover that? I mean, this looks fancy as hell, and it doesn't even look logical.
You discover it by watching good Yuyuko's play, or you discover it because I'm telling you it exists.
Damn.
How did the first person discover it? By randomly mashing? Like Normac?
Probably.
So Normac is the kind of person that's good for Soku research, because of the weird he's putting.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess just like,
I mean, come on now, how do you discover this? Like, why would you ever do J4-4 and then the J6A there? Like, did you read something wrong? Did you misinput something and saw that it works?
I wouldn't say it's that hard to figure out, because Yuyuko can already do stuff like J6A cross-unders, so the next logical step would be a J6A crossover.
Well, alright.
Why would I talk about charge J2C Okizeme? What the fuck? Like, literally. Alright, charge J2C Okizeme. You do the ender, you press high jump 7, and then you hold down, you charge C, and you press the button. And then the direction that your opponent attacks follows which way you follow up. Pro tip, they're going to tech out of the corner 100% of the time, because nobody wants to block a fucking J2C charge.
I mean, that's Okizeme. Sounds about right if you ask me.
Oh yeah, if you're talking about that iron, usually you don't want to do that unless you have either J8A or J6A as an ender, because that adds a lot more time to it. But yeah, it's incredibly basic, honestly. This is more complicated than that. So yeah, that's some of the interesting stuff that you can do with Yuyuko as Okizeme. And, God, I guess since we're on the subject of Okizeme, we may as well talk about her best Okizeme move, which is Sphere Bloom, right?
Okay, so, we heard about this Sphere Bloom here, Sphere Bloom that, it's so good, it's so strong. Is it really so strong? Is it unbeatable? Is it literally death?
No, and the thing
this
is...
skill sucks.
Okay, I'll say this. If you get Sphere Bloomed in Diamond Dust, you're gonna get crushed, and there's very little you can do about it.
Funny.
Even at level 1, Sphere Bloom and Diamond Dust is death, but at level 1, if you're not in Diamond Dust, there's a lot of things you can do against Sphere Bloom. So, before I even go into how to use Sphere Bloom, I kind of want to show people how Sphere Bloom is, like, how it functions. So, can you play the Sphere Bloom hitbox video? Yes, the floor is Sphere Bloom. Cry, little Reimu. I would say that Sphere Bloom is not overrated, but you definitely shouldn't run it against like Iku, Alice, Kamachi, Patchouli. The characters I would run it against are like maybe a little less than half the cast. Like you would run it against Sakuya, Raisin, Reimu. I would run it against Suika, Tenchi, Yuyuko. It works against. There's quite a few characters it works against. Alright, so on the video that I took here, I slowed it way the fuck down so that you can tell that the hitboxes for 214B on Yuyuko's Sphere Bloom, they are not all equally distributed. They're centered at different places. So, Zero, if you actually want to open up a video or an image that I have, it's labeled Sphere Bloom Zones. I can actually talk about it more. But what you notice is that there are basically two places where the hitboxes for Sphere Bloom start overlapping a lot. And that's at the very end and in the very middle, where you can see there's a little loop right there. Those are the places where if you get hit by Sphere Bloom, it's like, ouch! That does a lot of damage. But like, if you get hit in the middle or by the end of it, it does almost nothing. Yeah, they're the ouch zones. So then, can you go ahead and show, what is it? Sphere Bloom zones, the, not the picture, but the video? Yeah, that's the Chad Sphere Bloom zone. Ouch!
Ouch.
Should have made a meme picture.
My booms.
So yeah, because you know those are the two areas where Sphere Bloom maximizes its damage, your Okizeme using Sphere Bloom, basically what you want to do is you want to maximize your ability to hit people with those two zones. And so the video I'm showing here will actually show you. The first one I do, you just get hit by like the middle of Sphere Bloom, and that's only 2 orbs. There you get hit by the little loop inside of Sphere Bloom, that's 3 orbs. And then you get hit by the beginning part of Sphere Bloom, and that is 3.5 orbs. So that's at level 1, by the way. So you can see that the damage varies wildly based on what part of Sphere Bloom you're hitting them with.
Wow.
So you actually should look at the visual cues.
Yeah, it's...
I didn't even know that, to be honest. I just thought it deals the same spirit damage everywhere, but each... What do we call it? Point?
Yeah.
What is it even? Petal?
Bullet.
Like, even every shining orb actually means spirit damage, so you should tag into the direction or move to the direction with the least points. I don't know.
Exactly, and yes, that is level 1. And the thing that a lot of players don't realize is that oftentimes the way that Yuyuko sets up Sphere Bloom is expecting the opponent to tech into them, and you see that the maximum amount of damage is a part of the Sphere Bloom that's right next to Yuyuko. So when you tech into Yuyuko, you're actually getting hit by the absolute worst part of it. While on the other hand, if you don't tech at all, you don't really get hit by that much of the Sphere Bloom. Can you show Sphere Bloom in practice, MP4?
Can't you border escape or something? Isn't really Sphere Bloom so inescapable in a way?
No, it's not inescapable at all. There are so many things you can do against it. Even as Raisin, all she has to do is not tech. And unless Yuyuko literally puts Sphere Bloom right in the very corner, not teching is going to be fine, because you're only going to get hit by a weaker part of the loop. But as you can see in the video here, Raisin techs here, and because she techs, she gets hit by the 6C, which I push her into, and the worst part of the Sphere Bloom. And also because I'm pushing her, she gets pushed through multiple parts of the Sphere Bloom, which does a shit ton of spirit damage and instantly crushes her. It would be fine if Raisin did not tech. She would not be crushed instantly, but in that scenario, she is definitely getting crushed instantly. So, yeah, against Sphere Bloom, if you have a really short tech, sometimes it's better not to tech against it, if you don't want to get crushed.
So I don't even know where we are in the flow. What other... so where are we in the flow? Do we have to explain skills now?
I mean, we're on pressure.
Or was it still on pressure? Okay.
Well, I mean, we are just talking about every spell card and skill in this way, really smoothly.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going from place to place. Like, I'll talk about spell cards, I guess, when we get to them. Damn, I actually wanted to put out another video, but I got 0 fuses AFK. But yeah, Oh, okay. Can you put out Sphere Bloom in practice? And,
What's the difference now?
oh, wait. No, that's the exact same one. I mean Sphere Bloom with 660. So the thing about Sphere Bloom is that against short techers, it becomes a bit of a mix-up. Because most people who have played against Sphere Bloom for a while, who have really shitty techs, will know that they don't want to be teching against Sphere Bloom too much. So this is actually me versus Lionheart here. And I'm showing you that what you can actually do is that since people won't tech, they can still get hit by things like 6-6C, and 6-6C is actually safe, and it does a huge amount of hit stun, so it gets made safe by 214, and you can actually use it to catch stuff like border escapes. So it adds a whole new component to your game. See, like there, Lionheart saw that he mashed, that he blocked 6-6C, so he tried to mash after it, but it didn't end up working because Sphere Bloom made me plus. And then on the second attempt, he said, okay, I can't mash against it, I'm gonna jump out on Wake Up. But even still, despite the fact that I was backdashing, I can still use 6-6C to catch him. The downside is, and it's actually kind of a funky thing to do, you can border escape 6-6C, and it's pretty easy to get out of. But yeah, that's, you get a lot of options on Okizeme with its Sphere Bloom.
So it's not so escapable, and it's only really lethal in Diamond Dust because you can perfectly place the Sphere Bloom, so you get the most damage, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, just look at this video. Like, Lionheart blocks it. He only takes 2 orbs of damage because he doesn't get hit by a very bad part of the Sphere Bloom. He just gets hit by the middle. He only gets hit by 2 orbs, so it's not that bad. You just have to know what you're doing against it. Yeah, you can border escape. There are lots of border escapes you can do. So, I guess that covers Sphere Bloom. I think I did a pretty good job of talking about this one. So at least maybe people can understand what the actual danger behind Sphere Bloom is, and people don't think it's just a move that's a touch of death, and they know how to actually use it.
Pretty good.
Alright, what should we go on to now?
Let's see, we talk about neutral, we talk about pressure, we talk about defense, but I feel like you missed some skill card or spell card that you weren't talking about because you were talking about the general way of playing Yuyuko, so...
Oh, well, since we're still covering skill cards, I can go on to ceiling lasers if you want me to do that.
Sure.
Your favorite.
Yeah, ceiling lasers is one of my absolute favorite things to do, and I actually made 6 videos about it because I like it so much. Can you start off with ceiling lasers coverage, MP4?
Why do you have so many videos?
Because I like laughing with Yuyuko.
It's a good thing.
I like it more than playing her sometimes.
I feel you, man, I feel you.
Yeah, so, I don't know, like, everybody was like, Sphere Bloom is disgusting. No, it's not. Ceiling lasers is disgusting, and you're about to see why.
Really now?
Yeah, like, just watch the video and you'll see the sheer amount of space that ceiling lasers covers, especially starting at level 2, is absurd. And look at how long the active frames on that are. You can throw out a ceiling laser, control most of the screen, and then still have enough time to run in with a J2A or a J5A. That is how fucking crazy that move is in neutral. It is one of the best neutral tools that Yuyuko has, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know why people don't know that it's so fucking good, but look at that shit.
It's a straight line of red from the sky to the ground.
Yeah, it's not just the bottom tips. The top tips are active for like the entire duration of it. So if your opponent is flying up in the air, they're gonna have to deal with like 1.5 seconds of activity from ceiling lasers, and that's some serious shit. There are a few other things you can do with ceiling lasers. Let's see, what do I want to go through now? Can you show ceiling lasers air block strings? It actually works as an air pressure tool for Yuyuko. And you'll be able to see why.
That's neat.
Yeah, it also has crazy damage potential, and I'll show off some of the damage that you can do with it.
Ceiling lasers air to air?
No, ceiling lasers air block strings. Okay, you can show off air to air. That's just a combo that I wanted to show, and that is that is basically your bread and butter aerial combo getting completely upgraded by ceiling lasers. It goes from like 2.2k to 2.7k, and that is at level 1. So yeah, it can definitely add a lot of damage and hit confirmability to your game plan. Over there, that's showing you different ways that you can use ceiling lasers in aerial block strings. That's at level 1. And you can see I'm not actually getting crushes off of it, but I'm also hitting the opponent off of full orbs, and I'm still doing like 3 to 3.5 orbs of damage. So if your opponent starts respecting your aerial pressure a lot, like if you're doing instant air, J2A, J8A, or like you're doing staggers into more J5As, you can abuse that with ceiling lasers and make them take a whole lot of spirit damage really quickly. And then beyond that, you also get a shit ton of damage from ceiling lasers. Low J5A, J6A. Oh yeah, I guess since Melancholy is talking about it, you can also do ceiling lasers corner to corner. You can show off that video.
See, ceiling lasers look pretty good, actually.
Yeah, Unga. This is the real reason why Yuyuko's top tier. It's not because of my J2A. So yeah, here this is pretty crazy. Yuyuko almost never has corner-to-corner combos, but using ceiling lasers, you actually do get a corner-to-corner combo from pretty much any aerial hit confirm that you can move into J6A with using ceiling lasers. And that's really fucking good in my opinion. And, I mean, 2.7k, what else do you want?
Now, would you run this skill by default, or is this like a matchup-specific thing? Because I know like, you can use this as like real anti-air stuff. People like the really hug the ceiling, like Suwako.
I will definitely run the hell out of it versus Suwako, and Suwakos will cry when I run this thing. I will also run it versus Iku, because she threatens me in the air a lot. I'll run it versus Patchouli, and in general, I'll run it against characters who have really good air games, and they also have techs that are hard to follow. Like,
yeah, typically I'm not very afraid of Sphere Bloom when I'm playing as Patchouli because I can just tech right on out of that. I have like one of the largest ground techs in the game.
Exactly, and even if I do default 2-1-4, you're still gonna tech way the hell out of it, so I'm not gonna get Okizeme, so I may as well run a skill that wins me neutral instead, you know? Okay, so let me see, what else do I have here? Alright, let's show you a little bit of ceiling lasers damage. Can you do... where is this thing? Ceiling laser 6/6C counter hit damage, that one.
That sounds spooky. Counter hit damage?
It's pretty fucking spooky.
Oh man. It's even Halloween almost.
What isn't spooky? I mean, she's a goddamn ghost.
Don't say that!
So Yuyuko's optimized hit confirm off of 6/6C counter hit deep in the corner does how much damage? It does 3.2k damage. So you can do that at level 1 ceiling lasers a lot easier. And then when you get up to level 2 ceiling lasers, you start doing 3.4k, and then all the way up to level 4, you do 3.7k damage off of 1 hit confirm with ceiling lasers. The damage is pretty fucking thick.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like a brain-dead easy combo. So I really like running this thing.
So with the level 4 version, you can't full combo off of it?
And I was just fucking up. You can see that I actually correctly combo off of it in the last hit. It's harder.
3.7.
It's harder to do, but you can still do it.
That's some crazy damage you got there.
Alright, and then the last thing I'll show you for damage off of ceiling lasers is do ceiling lasers dial A combo.
It doesn't sound like much, but let me guess, this will deal way too much damage.
It's only an upgrade of like 300 damage over her standard.
Pretty good.
I only drop it on level 4 because it's a little bit harder on level 4. So yeah, usually on Dial A, what you would do is you would just do Dial A 6A 2B. But here with Yuyuko's ceiling lasers, you can actually do 2B ceiling lasers, Far 5A 6A. and that does like 300 more damage, and it's pretty cool. It looks cool, and I don't end it with like 2 card or 1 card there or a time bomb or anything like that, but you can definitely add that, and that will limit the combo.
For 3k minimum.
Yeah, 3k minimum, plus you get whatever like spell card confirm you want off of it.
With 2 cards, that's pretty good damage. Nice.
That's level 1, by the way. The damage only gets higher.
Wow.
Run fucking ceiling lasers, ring!
The shield. The shielding is crazy right now.
Absolutely. Alright, so I guess we want to talk about spell cards now.
Are there any skill cards you want to talk about? Anything? We forgot?
In the list we had, you already talked about reverse screens, the ceiling lasers for your bloom. I did want to hear a little bit more about the dancing butterfly thing, though.
That's not only Normac, but especially Advice Owl's favorite. So, this is a move that is really good default because it can catch border escapes, but it also does a whole lot more than that. 623 default, at level 1, it gets slightly faster startup frames, and what that actually does is that it makes it so that you can delay border escape catches a lot more and actually make it closer to a reaction rather than a read. So that's really good. And then once you get it up to level 3, the hitbox of that thing becomes gigantic to the point where, like, hell, I wish I made a video about this, but it basically is double the height of Yuyuko, so it becomes this insanely big air unblockable that you can confirm into 3 card, like I showed you earlier. You can confirm it into the rings, and then that does just a shit ton of damage. Yeah, it's really powerful, I think. You can cancel into spell cards off of it for crushes. Obviously, the big downside about it is that it is incredibly minus. If you block it, you're fucked. You're just fucked, dude. But yeah, it's pretty good.
So I guess we can go into...
Always that.
Wait, what?
There are no... Okay, there are no other skill cards we want to hear about, right?
I mean, I already talked about like 421C to some extent. I guess I could say something quick about default 214B, which is... What the hell is that one even called? It's like butterfly something something. I don't know. It's pretty good because not only... Okay, first of all, I wouldn't use it as an Okizeme tool in most situations. Why? Because even if they block the damn thing, it's not going to do any sort of spirit damage, and it's also a skill, which means that it's going to delay your spirit recovery by a lot. And on the other hand, I think it works incredibly well as a neutral tool, especially the B version of it, because the B version actually goes behind the opponent onto the other side of the screen, and then it doesn't interact with them until it bounces off the wall, and then when it bounces off the wall, it becomes a bullet that threatens your opponent from behind. So it blocks them from doing a lot of the neutral stuff that they want to do where they set up bullets against you. It pretty much completely blocks that out, and it makes it so that you can approach a lot more safely. So, yeah, 214B, it's a really good tool.
Oh, these are your old graphs you made?
This is old as hell.
What, did I make this when I was like 12 years old or something like that?
This was in V times, my man.
Yeah,
because MGZ.
This might be 2 years old or something like that.
No, it's 4 or 5.
Right, what are you talking about? I didn't even start Soku Tourneys.
Dude, this MGZ in the fucking flowchart. That guy is super old.
He played up until 2015.
Really makes me think.
Yoki.
Go ahead.
Anyways, yeah, that's about it for skills. They're all shit. Yuyuko shit. That's what we've concluded.
What about spec cards? Because we talk about pretty much everything, and you know, fucking skill cards. But what about the spell cards? What about the fun stuff, the meaty stuff, the saucy
reversals,
stuff?
Reversals, bombs, and poison. I think those are extremely obvious.
Well, you can start from bottom to top, so let's start with the 1 card.
Okay, so 1 card, that's really simple. I'm actually not going to talk about 1 card too much. Basically, it's -2 on block, and it does 1.1 orbs of damage. So if somebody blocks it, and you're playing against a character like Tenchi, for example, who only has 10 frame pokes, you can mash 2A afterwards, and that'll basically force her to get a trade at best. Other characters it doesn't work so well against. The other thing you can do is that you can high jump 7 after they block your 1 card, and that is actually a pressure reset. Because if they wait for you to mash 2A and you actually high jump 7, they're basically going to be stuck in the corner blocking your aerials. But let's talk about the 2-card poison. And I just wanted to mention something about that. It's -4 on block, so it only does 1 orb of damage. So if you do that, it's not going to make anything mashable afterwards. It'll make a 6/2/3 safe, but it won't make it plus. It won't make it so that you can mash. But the really good property about 2-card, and a lot of people forget this, is it does almost no damage off of the actual hit. But it does 2,000 non-prorated damage after the hit that slowly drains your opponent. So if you're able to do it at the end of your bread and butter combo, and you just smack it at the end, and then you run away from your opponent, you're gonna do 2,000 unprorated damage. That's 1,700. Okay, it's a little bit less, but still, that's ridiculously significant. I don't know. I didn't remember exactly how much. It's about 2,000.
I think the hitbox viewer will say the damage, yes?
Maybe? I don't remember.
Nah.
I mean, I've always liked watching this spell in use. It's just free damage, really. You get the initial hit, and then you get the poison damage afterwards.
You get the initial hit, you watch your opponent be poisoned, and then their life just slowly drains. Okay, 500 on the impact, 1.2k on the unprorated part. It's pretty good. So the other thing that I want to talk about is Yuyuko's air reversal. She actually has a reversal that works in the air. Crazy, isn't it?
Wait, what? I didn't see that. I would have used that in the mirrors. Which one?
Didn't you? The one with delayed butterflies that gives you invincibility frames?
The twisty?
Yeah, the 2-card.
I didn't know that was air usable.
Psych as
Wow.
the butterfly flies, that one?
Yeah, it's that one. It is. So, here's the thing that works really well about it. It is air usable, and even though the startup is a bit longer whenever you air use it, it's still fucking air usable, and it has invincibility frames in the air. So, what you're able to do is you're able to escape from a lot of pressure using it. So, it's not anywhere near as bad as it looks, because you don't get like a bomb, you don't get a Hangeki, you don't get a coin that works in the air, but you get a 2-card that fucking works in the air and is able to get you out of air pressure. And even though people can technically punish you, they can't punish you for very long, because if they try hitting you, they're just going to get hit back by the butterflies. And, you have invincibility frames anyways. It's really, really good for air escapes. Right?
You say right, but we have no idea about Yuyuko like
Man,
that.
I got this spell before.
I got lost.
wants to
I know
call
this
you
spell.
out on your bullshit, then let's do it. But
Okay,
I
I know this spell. I know this spell because I fought Irish a bunch of time, and this spell card is really annoying.
Yeah,
I would say.
I mean, you can attest to it, can't you, Genki? Like, you can hit me once or twice, and then you have to run away.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, unless I really do a really well calculated 6-2-3C, but even there, probably some bullets are going to hit me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you can be fucking crazy like Azel, who knows exactly how to punish the thing. He literally just did, like, he did a dial A or something? No, it wasn't a dial A. He did, like, 2 hits of the dial A. And then he did 4-2-1-C? I don't know. But the point is, he did a 6-2-3-C at the end of it, which made him graze throughout the entire thing. And yeah, if you have graze moves like that, you can punish it, but still, most characters can't punish it.
Honestly, the only reason there was some is because I'm just listening to everything Irish is saying. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's alright, I guess.
I enjoy this. It's really interesting. But yeah, this card is really good. I guess there is some. I guess it's avoidable if you have a grazable special. But outside of that, it's pretty dang good. Pretty dang annoying. You basically reverse the entire situation to your side.
I mean, pretty much. Just it's something that is especially easy to use after your opponent does a command normal. If they do like a J6A in the air, they can't recover in time fast enough for them to actually punish you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Let's not even talk about the other 2 cards. We talked about it. It's a reversal. It's a shit. You can tech out of it. You can tech out of it really early.
Is it good at least for damage, like and combo enders?
I mean, no, you're always going to lose damage off of it as a combo ender compared to other cards.
Dang.
It's good for damage whenever somebody does a heavy melee on you, and it'll do like 2.9k. But even if they do that, it will still allow your opponent to tech in time. Yeah, it sucks and I hate it.
So we are in the 3 card zone.
Yeah, he already talked about the Death Time Ghastly Dreams 2 spell card reversal.
Yeah.
We could probably go into 3 cards. First one being the what is this? Invitation to the Afterlife?
Fucking Elegance, Invitation to Elegance, something like that. I don't know. It's the one that does a spinny ring in the air. You know it, Genki.
The spin. Oh, the 5 card.
No, the one that I did that 623B reset with, it like made you have an orgasm.
Oh, the 3 card circle thingy. I don't know the name. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I forget.
Let me check the name. Just start talking about it and I'll tell you the name now.
Maybe I see people use it in weird ways. I think they might be forcing some 50-50s. Is it supposed to be used as a pressure tool or as an actual 50-50?
Oh, there you go. Invitation to the Afterlife.
That's it? That's the only name of it? Damn it.
That sounds lame.
It's Elegance.
Lame. Stop using it from now on.
Okay, the name is Elegance. Invitation to the Afterlife.
Okay.
At Normac, you're actually completely wrong. There are lots of things that card is, and a pressure tool is the only thing that card is not. It is, it is an Okizeme tool, and it is a neutral tool. And I will explain how you use it as both. Okizeme tool, that's really self-explanatory. You set it up as Okizeme, like you literally just do your ender, and then you finish with it. And then after that's done, you fucking set up the card. And here's what's gonna happen. Most of the people are gonna see that the spell card does a shit ton of covers a shit ton of range, excuse me, if they actually tech out. So most players will not tech out against the card. So you wait for the opponent to not tech, you mash Dial A against their wake up, and by the time you finish the Dial A, they're basically gonna be stuck in a way to where they're gonna get forced to be crushed, because if they block the entire duration of the card, they will be crushed even if they have 5 orbs left. Okizeme is basically pressure. Yeah, and
I mean, kind of.
He's comparing it to Aya's 4-cost spell cards.
Alright, and then the other way is like, if they actually tech out of it, most of the time, unless they're like Patchouli or Iku, they've made a horrible mistake, because if they tech out of it, what you can do is you can literally jump behind them, press 6-6A, and physically push them into the spell card, forcing them to get crushed by it. You can just, since it stays on screen for so long, you can just force people to get crushed by it by pushing them into it. It's pretty dirty. Yeah, this is Azel versus Oxydol.
Oh.
Yeah, they're both... Well, Oxydol doesn't play anymore. Azel obviously still does, but even at the time, Oxydol was one of the best Yuyukos out there. So the other way that you use the 3-card ring is actually kind of as 2 things. If your opponent has exhausted all of their dashes in the air, or they have really low spirit in the air, you press the card whenever they're high up in the air, and they are forced to get hit by it. There is no way that they can escape it, because you cannot actually border escape the card after you block it. You can't. Like, if you block it at all, you're completely stuck. You have to get crushed. And you're going to be forced to block it if you can't graze out of it.
I feel this is a good moment to talk about another card that does the same thing. Unless you want to.
Yeah, but let me explain like one more thing about this card first. The other thing that you can do with it is it has a little bit of startup, but even if Yuyuko gets hit after using this card, the card does not go away. So in a lot of situations, you can actually trade hits against opponents and force them to get hit. An example would be whenever Iku does J2A against me, if I know she's going to be going for a J2A, I will press the card, take the hit, and then what will happen is that I'll get hit, but then Iku doesn't have the ability to recover in time to get out of there, so she's forced to be hit by it. I take like 1.1k damage and she takes like 3.5k. I'm okay with that.
Well, sounds about right. I mean, the damage you do is way higher.
Oh yeah. Okay, and now to Norimax, absolute disgust. I'm going to talk about Resurrection Butterfly because I think it's actually a good card. So, can you put on Resurrection Butterfly Grazing, MP4?
Nice. Let's see some really interesting card.
Alright, so, oh my god, Normac is already upset. I think this is a card that requires a lot more lab work. I don't think that it's a card that's actually complete shit.
What's it called?
It just says Resurrection Butterfly.
Ours doesn't even know. What the fuck is Resurrection Butterfly?
Imagine having a spell that's so irrelevant that you never use it.
It's really called Resurrection Butterflies. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is. For one, it has an interest. Okay, it's Resurrection Butterfly Grazing MP4. For one, it is an interesting spell card in that it is the only spell card in the game that works like a skill card in the sense that it levels up. And you can actually see, this is me versus Wayward, and Wayward didn't know what the fuck to do. I pressed this, and Wayward went from 3 orbs to 0 orbs, basically instantly.
Wow.
Because that thing drains an absurd amount of orbs whenever people graze. That's level 1, by the way. Level 2 and 3 are even worse.
Do you have a video of level 4? Because that's something I would be interested in now.
I didn't actually have a video of level 4, but so here's what happens whenever you level it up. This is level 1, it's like complete garbage. Even though I hit him, it only does like 1.2k, whatever. So there are certain ways to set it up. You basically want to expend the spell card to get to level 2 as soon as possible, because once you get to level 2, it becomes a decently respectable spell card. There's a few ways you can do that. One, you can do 421C into this card, and it works as like a janky Crush Confirm. It only does like 1.5 orbs of damage whenever people block it on level 1, but it's still something. It's something you can work with. The other thing you can do is you can do it like I did against Wayward, where he moves above me, and I force him to graze through it, and then he gets crushed. You can use it against players who are just flying high up in the air above you, because the lasers have the graze property, not just the butterflies. So basically, as soon as the lasers come out, you're gonna get a lot of spirit drain.
A general question is that, is it good only on people that try to graze it, or it does also decent speed damage?
At level 1, it only does like 1.5 orbs.
Is it a reversal? Like, are you invulnerable when casting it, or do you lose your level if you get hit during it?
No, okay, you don't lose your level when you get hit during it or anything like that.
It's not a reversal either.
No, it's not invulnerable whatsoever. So that's why you actually have to do tight confirms. If you do like 421C here, the opponent can't actually graze out. The opponent can't actually border escape out of that. If you just do it raw on level 1, it is really easy to punish, because you can see that even though it looks like I'm invincible because I'm all gray and shit, I'm actually never invincible during the entire duration of it. But here's the thing. You can also use it at the end of a round. Like, you can just use it like a mana card to level it up. And then, once you get it up to level 2, this spell card becomes fucking dangerous. Here's what it gets at level 2. It does, I think, 2 orbs of damage whenever people block it. It has, like, increased startup by a decent amount, I think 4 or 5 frames. It gets a lot faster. And it also gets increased damage. So you can actually start using this to crush people really well and control the space of air above you, because the hitbox on this thing is fucking gigantic. And
what happens on the even higher levels? Now I'm getting curious.
On level 4 it lags the game, it shoots too many butterflies.
That's okay. But I mean, right now I'm here open. I have Soku open and the deck editor, And now I'm thinking about how can you make your entire deck based on that spell. So I would say first of all, four weather cards, so you can get Mountain Vapor and Cloudy with it. Alright.
Honestly, what I would do with it is just take it as it comes. The downside of it is that it's a 3 card that basically is a 6 card because you need to use it twice in order for it to be really good. As a level 1, look at this, it's doing like 1.2k damage. It's usable, but it doesn't become really usable until you use it.
Normal combo will deal more damage, but how about the damage after level 2 or 3? Like, is it getting insane then, or is it still not enough to justify, let's say, running other 3 or 4 cards?
If you get it at level 3, I think it's literally unpunishable. Like, you can just press it and nobody can mash fast enough to hit it.
I mean, it already makes it like an interesting strategy. Just go for that one. I mean, if I run like 4 Ibuki Gourds and 4 weather cards, that should be already pretty good for it, right?
Yeah.
I am interested now in that. Like, can you make a deck that's focusing hard on that one?
Possibly. I mean, I did it against Wayward, so at least you get the element of surprise. Even top players don't know what the fuck it does.
Is it decent on block? Like, is it unsafe, safe, super unsafe?
Oh, it's very unsafe on block. You have so much recovery.
Okay.
You have to use it to crush. If it doesn't crush, you're gonna get punished.
Oh, 6-3C. 6-3 doesn't have low invincibility. Oh.
Yeah. So the reason why I talk about this card isn't because I think it's the best card in Yuyuko's arsenal or anything like that. I think it is definitely overshadowed by a lot of better cards. But it's not terrible, and I would like to see this card be labbed out a bit more, and that's kind of why I'm talking about it now, because I can see a lot of potential uses for it that we might not have thought of yet, and, you know, it's definitely something that can be used, I think. So, that's Resurrection Butterfly.
What other card do we have in...
Now we can go through all the 4 cards. I already talked about Yuyuko's Reversal. Everybody knows what that shit does. You use it for crushing, you use it for punishing whiffs, and you use it as an actual reversal. And I already showed off the video about it, so there's not really much more to say about that. One spell card everybody loves talking about is Time Bomb.
Ooh, the ticket to the Netherworld.
Yeah. Oh my god, I should have made a video to this, but there's actually certain setups where you can do 2 hits of Dial A, Time Bomb, and then Time Bomb does very little to contribute to limit, and it'll actually make the opponent bounce against the wall and then bounce back towards you, so you can continue Dial A, finish a Dial A, and then go into 6-2-3B, and it will send the opponent flying across the screen backwards in the same way that it did whenever I did the reset into 3 card using 6-2-3B. And holy shit, did I actually give you that Phoenix M video? That was a super cool combo. But yeah, so what you can actually do with Time Bomb is you can make people fly across the screen after doing a 6-2-3 ender, and because of that, they won't be able to recover for a much longer time. So when they wake up, they'll have a lot less time to dodge the Time Bomb. Beyond that, I think Time Bomb is one of the best cards in the game because it is a spell card that you can do your regular combo. You can do a combo that does like, I don't know, 3k damage. You can do J2A, Dial A, and then finish it with Time Bomb, and that'll do around 3,000 damage. And then on top of that, once it explodes, it will do a full 3,500 more damage. And that is like an absurd amount of gorilla damage. You can turn around games with that really quickly.
I mean, I know you can backdash, like, the damage portion when it explodes, but, like, we always fail that. I think the average backdash frame in both frames is, like, 12 frames. Everybody claims, like, oh, I'm so good, I got this.
It's much less than 12. It's like 5 or 6 unless you're playing fucking Oku or something.
Right. I'm thinking of Tsuho. Yeah, everybody else is, like, a lot shorter.
Okay, Oku can escape this for free. Her fucking backdash has like 40 invulnerable frames or something like that. Suwako can escape this for free for the exact same reason. So never run it against this characters. You will get absolutely no mileage against it. But on the characters that it does work against, I actually think that backdashing this spell card is a meme. I think that you should just fucking... There are several ways to dodge it that do not involve backdashing it. that are much more intelligent that people keep forgetting they can do. You can do a reversal. If you do a reversal, you time the invincibility frames with the explosion of it, and it will get you out of it. If you wait on what?
Is the explosion like a melee, right?
It is a melee with one active frame. You need to be invincible for exactly one frame.
It shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. You can do a bomb. A bomb will get you out of that because it has a couple of invulnerability frames. Reversal, DP. You can literally just mash DP, and even though Yuyuko's gonna see that and probably react to it and punish you, it's a lot better to get a combo off of getting DP than taking the time bomb hit.
Well, definitely.
Other things you can do, you can use the weather card. That will get you out of that because that has invulnerability frames. You can use, what is it called? Ice Frog, the Cheerno system card, to just get knocked down and keep teching through it. And then the last thing you can do is you can genuinely just get hit by Yuyuko. And if you fall down and you tech, you have enough time to tech through the active frames. And you'll survive. So, I guess that's all the spell cards I wanted to talk about. But then I realized I have so many fucking 5-card spinny spin videos. I may as well just talk about that card as well.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you do have them, but let's point out the podcast already went out for 2 hours. So, are you sure they should be necessary? I should also ask the viewers, are the viewers interested in seeing more clips?
Yeah,
so many clips.
Yeah, that's to be expected. So I'm asking the viewers, do they want to continue or not? And we can also just go on with the other aspects of the character, although I think the clips are the most...
We're kind of done after seeing the spell cards, I think.
I didn't talk about Force Spell card because I honestly don't use it that much. I don't think it's that great, but it's something. I didn't talk about Deathlands.
There are only 3 cards remaining, which are the 2-5 card and Deathlands.
No, I don't want to talk about Deathlands simply because... So the problem with Deathlands is that it doesn't add much damage in places where you can't already finish combos. It only adds 1,000 damage to your average combo, which is it's good, but it's a 4 card. You can do much better than that. You can run Time Bomb. You could have a reversal instead. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely very usable, but it's not my favorite card.
I like it, but yeah, probably this is better.
Also, Genki thought it was a whiff punish, but it has 24 frames of startup.
It looks so fast, though. In game, it looks supersonic. Strange. So strange. Actually, there is a card I would like to hear about. I don't think I've seen many Yuyuko or any Yuyuko run this card, but Lost Again, Gensokyo's L, the card that, makes the bullet come from the ground.
Oh god, you're gonna make me talk about meme cards.
I mean, if you don't want to, it's fine. I just was wondering mostly.
It's usable, but the thing about it is that it'll only end up doing about as much spirit damage as literally any other spell card that Yuyuko has that's better. You can do 4 card, it'll crush them a lot faster. It's usable, it's just overshadowed by better things, and that's why I don't really talk about it.
I see.
I don't know, if you want to show a funny meme video, put on iRock's muffled screams.webm.
Wow, Irish even has the meme videos prepared. Holy shit.
He is too ready for us. Jeez.
Yeah, you may recall last night that... Actually, it was 2 nights ago that Azel was talking about Yukari, and he said, Yukari is bad because Yukari is too fat. And the video that I'll show you will explain to you exactly why Yukari is too fucking fat. Because she can get hit by some absurdly stupid things.
Okay, what video?
iRock's muffled screams.
Yeah, Yukari has the highest crouching hurt box, and because of that, you can do really funky shit on her, which is great. But I won't say that makes her so bad. I mean, it makes her abusable.
I don't think I have this video.
I'll send it to you real quick.
Oh boy.
It's
I think it's
important
funny.
to leave out.
It's meme material against Yukari. That has to be good.
It was requested by all, so why not actually listen to our viewers?
For once.
There you go. I thought I sent it to you.
On a side note, is any one of the viewers here actually participating in the Sunday Swiss right now, or is everyone just ignoring it? I'm curious to know if people actually play in the Swiss and listen to us, or they want to focus on it. I actually want to participate in that, but I guess as a host I should really focus on the podcast here. But maybe the viewers do. Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't play Swiss. Come on, show us the video.
We still have 30 people watching this, and 22 signed up for the Sunday Swiss, so it's 50 people doing either tourneys or listening to us, which is a lot for this community.
This is why IROC got extremely mad at me, and this is why
What the hell
Hikari is too fucking fat. I can hit her with a backwards J5A, J2A. What the fuck is this bullshit?
And
What
you
is
still
this?
say that she isn't top tier.
She can't be top tier if she gets hit by literally everybody in the game.
Oh man.
This is Testosterone Code at its finest.
I actually don't know why I'm facing the wrong way. I think what happened was that Yukari wall bounced, and because Yukari wall bounced, she got a little bit farther off the corner than I did, and that made me turn around. So I got dank backwards combos. Alright, then I guess we can talk about 5-card, because I made a shit ton of videos for it. Let me see, which one do I want to show? Do you have nice reversal?
That's some really generic title there.
Yeah, it was me versus Norimak, and Norimak laughed. Let's see if he has it. Yeah, here we go. Norimak is the guy playing in Azo colors in the blue. He does this 4-card, and I'm like, oh, I'm real fucking smart. I can just hit him with this 5-card to punish him.
Oh, that's sad. Oh no.
Yeah, it reveals an interesting property about 5-card that makes it not as good as some people might think it is. It has invulnerability frames on startup, but none on active. So you can just get hit while you're hitting people.
Sadness.
No, knew that he's a god. He just did not play it, son. It is.
Okay.
Actually, that makes me think we should do. That will be a huge project where we face every spell against every other spell, make a video out of it, and kind of save the results somewhere. Because this is something that people haven't explored a lot. I mean, remember when we did the Fantasy Heaven against several different spells, what the result was?
Yeah, that was fun.
But this is something that that isn't explored that much, that we really could do. It would be a huge project, although it will be an easy one to make. It will just take time.
Ooh, look at those teabags at the speed of light. Damn.
Imagine having a big table that consists of every spell against every other spell and the result. That would be cool.
Okay, can you also show woolad.webm?
I'm sure he even knows his meme names for his videos.
I know. But it's actually like, it actually shows me doing this, but actually in the correct way. Like, you're able to use the invulnerability frames to go through stuff that has really long recovery frames and punish it. Like, there I used it against Kamachi's meme card. It's a meme card built to punish other meme cards.
Wow.
I guess 5-card, it's cool, you know, but that's all it is. Okay, now put on just block.
Look at that spin. Ooh.
It was pretty fun. I felt good about that one.
Smart usage of hard-to-use cards.
Alright, this is Relial, and she just activated Tenshi's super armor, and there she is trying to block my 5-card. So, yeah, that shows something, like, whenever characters have super armor, or it's Typhoon or something like that, it's not a bullet, and you can't block, so you either dodge it or you get hit. So, that is one way to use it.
Oh, man.
And then I got punished for it anyways, because Relial's a smart person.
Oh yeah, that's Relias. Pellets.
Look at the damage though.
Oh yeah. Alright,
Okay.
I got one last video. Amazing, isn't it? Oh wait, shit, the plumbers are here. Fuck it, I don't have one last video. We're done.
Wait, you're just going to quit like that?
Wait.
Is he
Wait.
just quitting?
No, wait. What?
Give me 5 minutes.
I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. But, if you guys want some useless trivia, you know the armored punch I do sometimes this week, right?
Wait, did he say plumbers?
Yeah, plumbers. Apparently some... Wait, how late even in America? Isn't really late for those to be working at this hour? Oh well, I'm not gonna ask.
I still have a couple more videos from Irish that we just didn't get to. I guess I'll just put them on and see what they are.
Put them on, because I haven't seen them either, so let's have a good laugh.
I'm curious what this will do. Let's see.
What I was going at, you know the time.
Amazing titles for those videos.
But yeah, you know the time bomb, and you know Suika super armor. You can actually armor through the time bomb if you want to. You will still take the full damage, but hey, you will not stagger. So
what is this?
The enemies on low health. What the hell is even happening in that video?
The stopwatch works like I think Sakuya stuff, so the active frames are still active or something.
Alright, you guys showed the last video anyway, so I guess we can end it since I gotta go do some other stuff.
Oh wow.
Alright, so
which is too bad. Which is because we had another topic, but I guess that's a good way to close it out. Anything else you were missing, or the Morphman wants to ask?
Go ahead.
Yeah, now it's yourself. I know it's an abrupt stop. Do you want it actually to keep this episode shorter than usual? It's still 2 and... well, actually, it's
2 hours,
it's 2 hours and
minutes.
15 minutes. Usually we exceed 3 hours, so this time we try to be short. Although we didn't get to our side topics, I don't know what we should do about that. Maybe we should go through all characters first, and then we start going back to usual topics, you know, like in the first episodes we made.
We can also leave it for a bonus episode.
Also, yeah, people wanted to see the drawings. Should we just move it to the next episode then? I don't know what the people want.
I mean, you guys can still show off the drawings.
Yeah, I'll still show off everything at the end.
Well, we are at the end, so we could show them off right now, but I feel like we should have actually rated them, talked about them, you know, actually showing them. So if we just show them like that, I don't know, it feels like they're underappreciated. Unless we show them unless we show them now, and for the next episode we have a corner where we display all the drawings we've gotten so far.
Oh, Morphman, there's level 4 Resurrection Butterfly for you.
Oh.
Yes, this
What
episode
happens on level 4?
during this episode I actually had a whole lot more videos than usual, and I mean like in abundance of videos to show
Thanks,
off.
Irish.
So I need to make a quick... And no.
Ruining the podcast with all the material you provided for it.
Yeah, I mean,
really
there
cool.
was Irish's content, there was Advice Owl's content, and then I do have to make a shout out to Gupman because he's actually the one who gave me all these videos I'm showing off right now. The ones that I've been showing off on YouTube.
But yeah, while we are here, Lo, let's decide on what to do with all the pictures. I mean, if they wanted to be shown right now, we can do it. Otherwise...
I mean, yeah.
We can do it also the next episode, because we will have less in the recap session. You know what I'm saying? This time we had a lot of recap, which took a lot of time.
Well, I think
mean,
that
it's up to the viewers. Let's just ask. So everyone wants to. Do you want to have the drawings now? Do you want them next week? Do you want us to share them?
I mean,
passively. I mean, we can have a little corner dedicated to drawings, although we won't be able to talk about it.
Like, the Yuyuko portion of the podcast is over.
well,
I mean,
we were
that's
supposed
already
to
the entire podcast, basically.
we were supposed to have a second topic, which I think will be interesting for you because it was about replays, but
Yeah, he could chip in the next episodes. I mean, Irish, I mean, he's listed here as a guest, although I must say he is a host at this point. I mean, he has been in more podcasts than Zayton, I think.
I don't know. Maybe the drawings could be shown now. I don't know.
I'm asking the viewers. You don't answer me. You say something. Do you want the drawings now? Do you want us to passively show them? Do you want us to discuss them, go over everyone? Do you want us to continue with the next topic?
Just show off the drawings.
I mean, it's
Or we show off like 10 per episode and then discuss them one by one. At least we have Halloween themed ones because
that's why
will
I'm
be
saying.
in the 4th, I think, which will be a past Halloween. So if you want to display the spooky ones, that should be now.
Hey,
Okay, Music wants us to show them.
They literally just asked for them.
Get out, Normac.
And Gup wants the drawings too. Fine.
What is this
Yeah,
meme
okay,
combo?
I'll put them on.
Riku?
And Advice also wants come on, and Crazed Fans. Who actually is Crazed Fans? Is this Vienna? Yeah, that's Vienna. I bet it's Vienna.
So I know there's a bit of delay on the stream, so I'll just put it all on this slideshow, and hopefully you guys can keep along. Otherwise, I would just put them on just to say which ones are made by whom.
Bigs. We had a bunch of artists. I mean, a bunch of people tried their best drawing some stuff for Halloween. It's pretty nice. With the creative channel, I try to, let's say, shill it whenever I can because it's a really nice channel. I really enjoy that channel. You should go there sometimes and draw something. It's good stuff.
There it is. Sorry about that. I had to put it all together. Like, literally this entire podcast, I've just been preparing stuff. So I just left it talking to you guys. I don't know, maybe sometime we'll get an episode where I can actually talk.
Did you receive the one from...
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, because I again, for some reason, my Discord is drunk and keeps opening stuff with Internet Explorer. I don't know why. I understand why.
So the Yomu at the start was Halloween Yomu by Angry Food. The Yuko, if you recognize the artist, that was Ari. She drew an Yuko for Halloween. Then you can see with the pixel art, that was actually Enigmus. I don't know, I guess that's his style. It's kind
Anonymous is really good.
I like his stuff.
Yeah.
Then there was Halloween Suwako by Lusek, which was the frog Suwako. We got a Halloween piece of art from Nivenfall. I think that's oh, what's her name? Yorihime, and I don't know the other one. I wasn't too sure, honestly, but that one was by Niven. Then there was Halloween Owl, which is Halloween Mailing, which is by Owl, and I don't know what this
Daily
dose
Dose. Oh man, the Daily Dose, man, you need to get on.
That's what it is. Okay, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I couldn't quite get the reference. I mean, it's just mailing, just green mailing. Then the dose hit me. Okay, and then there was Halloween Patchouli by Enigmus again, followed by what we're looking at now, which is Halloween art by Pimpleborg.
Do we have the arts? We do have a drawings channel, right? And then are they pinned there? I mean, for Halloween you could pin them.
We could. We haven't done that yet. And then there was
Okay.
the Ryzen by Rockabye. I like this because this is a reference to the Irisu. It's pretty nice.
The thing what I have to say, Rookaba, there is, why didn't you use the thing she has in her basket, fill it with those bullets she has, the pew bullets, you know what I mean?
It's not a nightmare for everybody. Then there was Zatan's Itsuho for Halloween. And
Presidente.
then I guess this is Genki. I mean, I don't know who's Genki.
This is definitely Genki, I remember the
Who
last
is
one.
this guy?
So what is this exactly? Is this a mecha Yomo?
I know,
or
I
is it
tried
a
to
zombie Yomo?
I tried to go for that really nice Frankenstein zombie thing I love so much, but I'm awful at drawing, my man.
I mean, in a way, it looked like a robot. So you made a
I know,
zombie
you are the
robot.
first. And
the last one
interest-
was Yuko and Yukari and somebody else in the background. I
Yomu.
think that's,
Actually-
I think that's Yomu, yeah.
Actually, Melancholy did the same stuff, and if you notice, the Yomu is all rugged up, like a Frankenstein-style zombie. Oh, and then there's Hungry Food. Nice.
Actually, when will we make we are still supposed to make the tier list now. Should we use the Halloween characters for that? Or don't we have everyone?
Won't be too bad at this point because in the end the tier list.
That would be cute if we have a tier list and fill it with the Halloween specials. Something.
I still have the drawings for the tier list, but I never received the others one. Like I have at least 8 or
Who
10.
do you lack?
If you want, I can literally. Oh jeez, what's screenshot the folder so you can see what I'm missing. If you are and Zero can post it. Let me see.
I mean, we're still supposed to do a new tier list after Neas. Well, actually, we can ignore Neas' tier list because we made our own.
We never finished the famous tier list, sadly.
Yeah, we should do that, honestly. It's important.
Why everything keeps opening with Internet Explorer? What is going on? What the fuck?
No, you fucked up with your PC if Internet Explorer every time does anything.
I don't know why. I keep opening stuff with Internet Explorer. I don't want that. What is going on?
Of course you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
What the fuck? This is spooky. I don't like it.
Well, it brings you into a Halloween. It gives you the Halloween spirits.
This is too spooky. This is too spooky. Go away.
Nothing is scarier than Internet Explorer opening because, you know, something is not normal. That is not normal. That should not happen. That's not in this world.
What? What is
Give me skeletons and spiders anytime, but when Internet Explorer opens, I'm shouting and running away.
If you want to post what characters I have up to now for the tier list, there they are.
But yeah, okay, to be a little bit back on the topic. So we realized this time we went a little bit different. We tried to be more technical with the character. The viewers, I really want to listen to everyone's opinion there, so more people in the right place. Did we do a good job at being more technical here? Is that what you want to hear? I mean, usually our previous flow was like that. We start with the recap as usual, and then go for 1 and 2 casual topics, and then discuss the character. Is that what you people want, or is the new style today we did better or not? I don't know. I noticed we had more viewers today than last time. Actually, 20% more viewers than usually, which is a good indicator. But I don't know if it's because we started on a Sunday or not.
I think it's because we were slightly prepared today, except for the fact that Zatan could not make it today. Also, I am looking for another sub and host. I mean, Zatan isn't always here, so today we had Morphman, Genki, Irish's guest. We do try to have sub and host, but not everybody is available at the same time. So, I mean, if you're interested in being a sub and host for the podcast, just PM me. Also, I do have another question for the viewers. I know I handle a lot of the background streaming stuff and setting up like videos and images to show off and basically just preparing everything else. But do you want me to talk more? Like, I don't know if I'm not talking enough. I don't know if you need me to say anything more.
As a host, I will say yes, talk more, dude. You're great usually when you ask questions and when you speak. So if you have something to say, do it.
I'm fucking busy.
I know you're fucking busy. That's why I don't mind if you don't say anything, but if you want to chip in, do it at any moment. I mean, at least you can always say if someone wants you to play a video, you can always say, yo, hold up, I want to say X, Y, Z. At least I wouldn't mind if you spoke more, Zero, like...
Yeah, I'll definitely try to do that more. Maybe in the more general podcasts, I can get my opinions out there. During today's Yuyuko. I mean, the only other thing I would have done today is complain about Yuyuko, but like, I mean that's not entirely useful for the people who are actually trying to learn Yuyuko. I mean, I think Yuyuko is a piece of shit.
Look what Music just said. Why talk if Irish just talks for everyone else? Yes, that's true. We were actually told to have different hosts and different people. Like, what I mean is we are supposed to change up the people that are in every podcast. You know that me, Genki, and Zero Fuse are always there, basically almost every episode. Mm-hmm. We know we were supposed to change that up with other people, but nobody was available today.
We really
For
wanted
some
to get
reason.
Ran in on this, but he wasn't. He was working today.
That was unfortunate. Zayton was also too busy or too tired, I don't know, one of those. We also asked Sigurd and Gup. Did he ask Gup? I don't know.
Why would I ask advice, Al? About
There we
Yuyuko?
go. Back to
Advice all,
Firefox.
you're there for Alice and Bong.
Irish is back. I guess there's no time for the second topic, but I guess we can do the We have a little more time just to ask. Okay, no, I know what to ask. Irish, my dude, you were extremely well prepared for this podcast, and I think we asked you in advance of like 1 or 2 days, 1 week. I don't remember actually.
I did this all last night.
Yeah, I didn't remember well. Like, you pretty much just kind of took everything in just one night. Like, how do you what?
What? What do you mean? What? It wasn't that hard. It only took me like 3 hours.
I mean, not
Yeah.
everybody is as prepared as Irish. That's all.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of surprised.
I mean, should we ask everyone else to be that prepared? I mean, this helped a lot.
I mean, am I
so...
about to am I about to go out of my way to ask every guest that we have to prepare everything Irish has just prepared today? I mean, that's great.
I know that's going to be difficult. It would be extremely great, but I know nobody has that time. Maybe you should make the podcast like every 3 weeks, 4 weeks even. I'm not
Screw it,
sure.
just
We
make
should.
the podcast monthly. We'll finish the characters by next year.
Yeah, you make tutorial videos for every single character. You work with everyone, and the whole thing needs to be scripted.
I'm pretty sure we should have another survey about that because we changed up quite a bit. To be honest, I noticed that while talking. Also, Irish, are you satisfied now? You were so scared that everyone is going to shit talk Yuyuko being top tier and the gorilla and monkey.
Well, that kind of happened anyway.
And did I lie to you? I was asking permission for one time to do a gorilla reference, and I used Advice Old's video for it.
Unga, give me a banana. I mean, I'm not worried about it because Advice Al wasn't on stream.
The Advice Old, would you have actually participated there if we let you?
He would have literally just been taking what I was saying and been like, look, just fucking press 6 to 3C, you will win the game.
That was actually trying to imitate the accent and it worked well, man.
Honestly, what I really enjoyed about how Irish explain everything is that it didn't use the classical way that we do it, like we just kind of talk about skill card and spell card separately and all that. It just kind of explain everything in context, and I really enjoy that. I feel like everyone should present all this stuff in context because it makes more sense even as a listener. It makes more sense even to see the things through gifs and context, you know, in general.
And yeah, actually, this was more like a lecture. I forgot to mention, does anyone have any questions? Like, either you guys or anybody in the chat, since there were some things that I didn't cover, and maybe some things that you guys might still be wondering about.
I know one thing we didn't really cover was matchups. Are there any other particular matchups you just fucking hate as Yuyuko?
You're a top tier, you don't hate matchups.
I'm not even fucking kidding. I despise playing Suwako.
Damn. Wait, why? You should have enough tools to simply whiff Punisher like nothing. Like.
So the thing is, I don't get much pressure against Suwako because I only get highs and lows, and if I do a low and she's on her lily pad, I whiff and she punishes me.
Oh.
It's really risky against Suwako as Yuyuko.
Not even if you use a charge attack low?
No, that doesn't hit. It
Wow.
just whiffs.
Don't forget the lily pad.
Yeah, the lily pad's the biggest pain in the ass, and she's so non-conventional. Like, she's not even a fucking Soku character. She's just some character from another fighting game that they stuck into Soku, and like, it's like, get out of the air, Suwako. I want to play a video game.
Yet it's so strange. You should have no problems with punishing anything she does.
Let's be fair here, who here doesn't have issues against Suwako outside of those very high level players nobody cares about?
I mean, god damn it!
Yeah, fuck you.
Ah!
Gotcha.
Aw.
Got him.
I think Patchouli is annoying, just because. But I think every fucking player in the game thinks that Patchouli can be really annoying.
Hey, that's fine with me. I'm used to it.
I mean, you know that when people fight that matchup, they just have to be in constant fear of getting J5 seed.
Yeah. They have to play. They have to basically change their entire game plan when it comes to facing Patchouli, and I also feel the same for Suwako.
Yeah, and Yuyuko is no exception to that.
Definitely pretty fucking game.
But alright, we are just talking random crap right now, so before we clutter up this podcast, let's finish now. Is anyone here willing to say something? I mean, usually I ask the guests if they are fine with the podcast, but it's not the first, second, or third time Irish has been here, so I will stop asking him. So, what about the viewers? Do you think it was better this time than the last episodes we made, or is there still room for improvement?
In my opinion, I think it was great. It's just that we didn't get the replays at all. There was the Yuyuko lecture.
I mean, at this point, I will say we just go for every character, and when we are done with them, we go back to our usual topics, and then all the topics we saved until now, we can use. And if, let's say, we do a character topic and are done with it within 1 hour, we can still just pull one of our saved topics as emergency topic and go through that one.
Oh, yeah, the next character, next podcast will be on Suwako. I completely forgot.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, can we ask? Can we ask whoever we asked to be on the podcast?
Well, Snap and Dango would be the first choice. If one of them can't make it, I think Luzik or Ginto. I don't know how talkative both of them are. Hey, Luzik, since you're listening to us, would you be interested in participating? Do you trust your English? Or even is Luzik from?
Willing to.
Oh yeah, you're showing this. I will have done that tomorrow as an announcement. That's temp drawing for the
and Sinius.
Gaiden.
Sinius. Normek just reminded me. Snap, Dango, and Sinius. Now that would be a stacked podcast. They can go all out on Suwako.
I would like to ask them, whoever is those them, that if they could, prepare the same thing Irish did, because it was really useful.
That's a lot of work to ask people to do.
I know, but it was so useful. Having GIFs and explaining everything in context was really, really useful. It made everything interesting, and it made everything made sense. Like, you weren't explaining stuff just, on paper. You were actually showing off how everything worked.
Yeah, it's really hard to teach anything with it. Like, if I'm just using words to explain visual concepts, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah, I know perfectly well what you mean. Which is why I would like to have anyone that joins the podcast try to do that if possible.
You should help them though.
Yeah, we can do that. Ooh,
I would say that's your portion of the work, if possible.
Zeros.
I mean,
I could help, but only to an extent.
Considering that we are here, I guess this is the moment where, before closing, we shield whatever. Do we have anything to shield outside of Dream Chaser's Gaiden?
A fucking art contest.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is Zero Shilling Corner. Okay, first of all, we do have next Dream Chasers going to be a 3v3 team tourney. It's Dream Chasers Gaiden. Got a whole layout set up for it. I got a whole bunch of stuff ready for it, and it's gonna be great. It's a low to mid level tournament. I mean, if you are new to an extent, just try to find a team. It's gonna be fun. I don't know if I'm gonna have a reward for it or not, but I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. It depends on Halloween sales, Other than that, I know Tessiro did want to finish up his the Magician's Duel tourney, because that was postponed from last week. It was kind of unplanned. People didn't make it, but he still wants to finish that up, and it's going to be Team Marissa versus Team Alice. And in the creative channel, we do have another what is it?
Contest.
Honestly, I don't know this contest. What did you do, Irish? Why do you do things?
Jeez. Alright, so here's the deal. One, our Tenchi emote is barely used by anybody, because it's not a very there wasn't much thought put into it. Nobody uses it. We ran the numbers, and it's actually one of the least used emotes out there. So Suika literally doesn't have an emote at all. So every single other character in the game has an emote. So I figured, well, why not Suika? And
I mean, you know my avatar, right? That's the perfect Suikagasm emote. Like, what do you even have to think about it? It's 1-to-1 with Gachigasm.
We have too many Gachigasm though.
I mean, look what I just posted in the main channel, and don't tell me my avatar doesn't look exactly the same. Like, come on now.
First of all, I didn't remove Lollyball. That was Freudia. Second of all, the only person who used Lollyball was unlike Suika.
Lollyball sucks.
He was the only person who ever used Lollyball. I know you guys are complaining. Where's my Lollyball? I don't know. You tell me. You guys weren't using it.
The Lollyball is not used anywhere, and it doesn't make sense because how often do you say that? I mean, top tier gets said a lot. I don't know. Best move also doesn't get used a lot, actually. But yeah, you can remove Udomgasm and place Suikagasm there because the emote is just 1-to-1. Look at the main channel; it's exactly the same.
Okay, I'm not
white
really
moisture.
Udongasm. That thing is so used.
Udongasm? Yeah, it is. It's very used, but there could be better.
So I didn't actually get to fully explain. So because we're missing out on all of these things, I figured, why not put it up to the community? Why not get something a little bit original? Why not have people create the emotes instead of just like ripping them from Soku or other pixels or, you know, maybe some Franker Faces stuff? No, we can make our own emotes. And already I've gotten 2 really good submissions, 1 Suika and 1 Tenchi. So step it up, boys.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can beat Anonymous. That's going to be pretty hard.
I mean, I'm not lazy. If I wanted to get an emote, I would just rip like some funny looking Soku sprite or find it off of Franker Faces. That's not very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, we have a creative channel, and I like that channel for good, you know, for good stuff.
No, Norimac, not your Tenchi submission.
Is this art?
That was your submission? I thought you hadn't finished it yet. Shit, let me take a look.
Normac getting destroyed.
Let me see. Ah, fuck it. I'll find it later. It was good, I'm sure.
Okay. Are we missing anything today?
I mean, we just spent more times asking each other if we're missing anything than we wanted to save because we are almost at the 3 hours again. But okay, let's be honest.
Close it, boys.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything.
Let's close it. I mean, okay, the people who remained here are the ones who actually care, but...
Too bad we didn't talk about the replays. It could have been an interesting topic. Oh well.
I will say
Let's go.
For other episodes. I don't know it will be anytime soon, but I will definitely save it.
Okay.
Chop chop, we got places to be, babies to kiss. Let's go.
I don't know, what's the current standing of the Swiss? Who knows?
Watching replays, although... Let Snap analyze the frog replays.
Why not? That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, at least it shows what the topic is about to be.
Can you stay? Can you...
Stop streaming this. 0 views, cut it out already. We are just talking nonsense
Guys,
at
let's
this
just finish
moment.
it up.
Just cut it out.
No, we got the 3
Just waiting on
down.
Genki to do that, really.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Okay, so I guess it's over. We talk about everything that we talk. I think the explanation was pretty damn good. So, said that, join my fucking tourney next Sunday, Sunday, and we'll see you next time. See ya.
See you
Bye,
later.
everyone.